It's not happening. I shouldn't try to be bad. Alrighty. What is up, everyone? This is Do Coffee with Soul. I'm your host. We're gonna chat. We're gonna talk. And we're not doing visits today. Which means, what's the point? What's the point? Why am I here? I was looking through news stuff, and while there might be like little quips and whatnot here and there, the mood of throwing together a weekly just didn't really come to me. So instead, I'm just gonna hang out and stream because it's basically, like if you're at your job or whatnot and you're like, okay, dude, you're gonna do your normal duty. You got your normal things, but then like one day you show up at work and it's like, okay, like your normal stuff you don't do, you're gonna do this instead. This is that kind of day where it's like you gotta, like, I guess for lack of better words, show up and get paid and all that. So this is basically what I'm doing instead. Yay! So I hope everyone's doing well. It is Friday. It's very unusual for me to stream on days like these. And actually, honestly, the best time for me to add another stream day, if it is to happen, is in fact Friday. Saturday, Sundays, like those are like more or less, okay, Saturday is definitely like kind of an off day. Sunday is when I work on the Monday video, so there's like, there's that. And then I'm usually like doing all sorts of other stuff. And then Mondays are kind of a personal day for me to get all the stuff done that I can't normally get done otherwise, like appointments and stuff like that. So like can't really do anything about those days. So Friday is like the closest thing that I can is like the closest day I can use if I ever wanted to like permanently replace permanently add a stream day. So yeah. So today, while again we're not doing tours and stuff, I'm gonna hang. I'm gonna play the game. I'm going to chat with y'all, of course. In fact, chat with you guys more often than normal because I'm not looking at other people's houses right now. So haha, there we go. Let's say hi to people. What's up to Thunder for you? The first person to say hi. What's up to Dorian and to Ravens and Valeri? What's up to Arumas and Kaisho and Slick and Adamara? Hello to Roxana. To Macho and Hysteria, and to the rest, y'all, the beautiful digital smiling faces are going to be joining us throughout the day. So yeah, the plan is, I'll stream, I'll do whatever, and then, in the afternoon, that's when I'm going to head out of town. I'm going to hang out at my in-laws' place with the wife. That's going to be like the thing. So yay, go me. Friday stream sound, yeah. So like if I were to do it, I would either compromise or just stop doing the weekly, which I've been doing for a long time now. But unlike the Monday video, I feel kind of proud of that one. I've been doing that consistently, I think, for the past almost 6 years. I'm pretty sure I have never failed to put out a video on Monday since late 2020. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty long time. So I feel proud of that. That's my personal pat on the back. No one cares, but that's my personal pat on the back. So like even when I'm out of town, even when I'm on like vacations and all that stuff, I'll like pre-record like the thing. I'll be like, all right, guys, it's only going to be a minute long, but hey, here's what's happening this week in Warcraft. And Roka, hey, what's up? And hello to Nasteri, in case I missed you. What's up to T Smith? Ooh, T Smith. Oh, that almost threw me off. So one thing that's come to mind is I've been inspired, and in like the worst way. I have the word I don't consider myself to have like really great housing ideas, but when I do, they're awkward anyway. How do I delete this room? You cannot remove. Oh, no, because the entryway is there. Okay, so I got to move my entryway. Or just not bother with that. So, yeah, never mind that. I want to go down here, though. How would I do this? I think I'll just add a... I can't do an outdoor room. Oh, crap, I need to level up. Ugh, I don't think I can level up quickly on this guy. Shit. That kind of ruins my plan. Actually, no, maybe not. No, actually it does. Damn it. So, don't worry. I'll have a complete thought for you guys in just a moment. I just want to double check, like, how screwed am I with this idea? Well, barely into level 8. I ain't gonna earn no 2500 XP on the PTR. No way. That's not happening. Is there an easy way I can do it? Can I buy a bunch of +1s? No, that's not gonna work. That's a lot of +1s. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that. Okay, so what rooms can I make with a level 8? Ooh. Yeah, what can I make with a level 8? Small. I don't even have a large. Wait, I don't even have a large room. Wait, I thought I can build large rooms like that at this level. Wait, hold on. Yeah, where's oh, you know what? I think it's just a it's a PTR thing. Damn it. No. That's monstrous. Shoot. Am I going to go ahead with the monochrome idea? Yes. Yeah, that's okay. That might be what I settle on. But okay, so here's the idea, because that's all I can do. All I can do is share the idea. You know how I did the QR code and how it was awesome and it's like world famous now, right? I want to do something like that, but way worse. Just way worse. Do I have any tiles around here somewhere? Okay, no tiles there. Okay, so tile. All right, so let's play with this for a little bit. Here is, I'll start with floor tiles. So there's that floor tile, and then here's a small floor tile. And for your guys' sake, let me change this thing to something brighter so everyone can kind of see what I'm talking about. So this square, it's very flat, it's very pretty, you know, it's very clean as well. You know, want to point that out. Let me take a second floor tile actually. So let me size this down to, okay, let me see how small this thing gets. And then how does this play together? I haven't really tried messing around with this yet. So if I do it like that, that is, gosh, I don't think I can't even really do it. Okay, I can do that kind of movement. I gotta select and then move. So a little bit smaller than that square. Yeah, I think I would definitely have too much difficulty doing it the way that I'd like to. So I might have to settle for 50%, maybe. Let's try 50%. Yeah, so let's. Oh, it lines up like that. Oh, that's weird. Okay, I can live with that though. Okay. What if? How feasible would it be for me to create, like, basically 8-bit art? And how extensive of a thing can I make? Yeah, we're not talking about blocks. I'm talking about tiles. Ain't nobody got that budget. So how much is this? 3 for the small floor tiles. Okay. So it's only a budget of 1. Ain't nobody got the budget. I have another house. I could always just tear down, I could always tear down the house and free up all them filgrees that I bought. Now, if I wanted to make, So how feasible would it be for me to make that logo? How finely detailed can I make this? It wouldn't be though. There's no way I'd be able to pull off the like this here. I got Photoshop up, right? I do. Okay. Yeah, give me that. And then this was a 4K image, right? Okay, so that's a pretty big thing. Can I just save it as is? Will that work? I don't think that'll work. Let me see. I doubt it will. Can I make the big dub? I've done that already though. We've been there. I want to do something. I want to do something just more stupid. So how can I do this? Okay. I would basically need to somehow pixelate this, right? So what's basically what I'm looking to do is find like what is the biggest, widest room there is? Skybox room. So what I need to do is count just how many, just count the grid, basically. I need to get a full measurement of how much space is in that grid. Take this logo, kind of match that as best as I need to match that, because thankfully, if I were to do like a rounded shape, like this will kind of work if this is like the very sides of it. And then once I have that down, throw down the tiles that are needed, and then dye them the right color. That's it. Curved tables and pick. Oh no, we're not doing that. No. This is 100% tiles. That's it. This is an 8-bit drawing. We're not doing that sort of kit bashing. So how much are these things? Oh, probably cheap. 25 gold. Whatever. Hundreds and no, I'm talking about thousands. Probably like easily thousands. Yeah. So let's find out. It's that kind of stream, by the way. We're just doing whatever the hell shit I want. So yeah, let's go over to the house and do a count. Now, there are other rooms that are being added in the PTR. We just don't know them. And, oh, well, honestly, we don't know if they're going to be available with the patch. It's like, we see the information, but we don't know what's really going to happen. For all we know, that shit's going to come out like 20 years from now or something like that. Squares, edges not meeting. I'll play with that, right? I'll play with that. And I would say that's kind of a bug, too. The way that some of these tiles rotate and some of the other pieces rotate, they don't quite look right. So, yeah, let's get out of here. I need to go to I think I have another empty skybox room somewhere around here. Yeah, at the other end. So, I guess the plan could be, it would be okay, it would be next level ridiculous if I were to try and like have it like emblazoned across here. Oh, that would be like ridiculous. I don't know, that's some technical work that I couldn't begin to figure out, if I were to have it try and go all the way across, because then you'd need to have the perspective kind of fit. No way, I'm not going to do that. I think instead, I think the best thing for me is to have this have it like this with a lower be able to just zoom out, and then here's the logo, make the character go away, and then there it is. So bum 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 bum. So now we gotta count. Yay. So give me like a thing, and so I would have to basically count how far these grids go. So I guess I'm okay with starting, here for the most part. Like can I place objects beyond this point a little bit? So boom, boom. Actually, no, that's starting to go against the wall. And then if I were to take it like across, how long until it becomes an illegal move? I can't tell. Okay, that's too big. Or too small. Give me like a table. Here we go. Banana. Okay, so I can take things further out if I wanted to. I'm just trying to determine, like, okay, am I cool with placing tiles like a little bit beyond that space if I need to? Current max budget, which gives you 1,000. Wait, what do you mean? The tiles, they only count as a budget of 1. They don't. Yeah, at least from what I saw, it's just 1. So I'm not quite sure where you're getting the 1446 from. I said 3. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Those are large tiles. Yeah, I'm talking about small tiles. Am I on the lists? I'm not sure what list you're referring to, Thunder. So yeah, small tiles, they work. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The housing list. Did you sign up? Or did you try signing up? Because list closed really fast this Tuesday. I don't know. Did you sign up? If you did sign up, then cool. If the queue was full, then it would just tell you right away. Okay, so let me count this real quick. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half. Oh, that's dumb. Wait, 11 and a half. Oh, my head math is like really bad now. So what is it again? 11 and a half, right? So 11 times 11 times 16. Yeah. 11 times 16 plus 8 equals 184 across times 2. 368. Ooh, that's so low. that's ridiculously low. 368. Okay, so let's experiment with this. 368. What if I were to change this resolution here and image size with 10%? 368. Boom. Calculating. So, you know what? Shut up! Really? This is 368. This is pretty good. That's actually pretty good. By the way, thanks to Arcadius, thanks to Roxana, thanks to Fel for subscribing. So I might be able to do this. Now, okay, color-wise, that's going to be hard too. Because I would need to map all these colors. Oh, God. Oh, no. So, yeah, how the fuck would I do that? Shit. So I would need to... Really, this... No way this is really 368 pixels. That's no way. Is it? I guess it is. I mean, because the canvas... No. No, that is about right. Yeah. Wow. Get needleworking software, they pixel out patterns and color. Because, like, basically what I'll need to do, I'll need to, like, figure out the whole palette here, and then map everything. That's fucking shit. Mental bandwidth in your particular menu. Now, the real truth is, like, I'm not a big creative guy. You know, like, people have come up with such inspiring things, and I can never hope. But if I give myself a job, a technical job, and a goal, I'm like, oh, can I do this? Like a QR code or something like that? I can do that. I can do that. For real, this really is? Sorry, I gotta do a double check on this, because I'm like, okay, that 207 pixels up, 368 across. And I'm pretty sure I mapped this right. Yeah, so, you know, step one, honestly, would be the shaping. I would need to, you know, from point to point, lay down every tile, right? Lay down every tile, get the shaping right, and then, you know, once, if I do get that done, I will at least have this whole shape thrown down, right? Then I would work on coloring. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it would work. So I could just start, like, filling in stuff. Woof. Oh, boy. Now, how would I do this? I'd have to use it like, I'd have to do like a grid style kind of thing. So, oh God, I'm on. Now here's the other thing. I'd love to work on this on the PTR, but I can't because I don't have access to a skybox room because PTR bug. So 23 times 492 pixels wide. How high? Let's say 40. Yeah. I won't have enough things for it. So I'd have to bring down the resolution even more because I'd have to, I have to account for like budget. Like this is going to consume most of my, this is going to consume like a considerable amount of storage. So if I were to take, yeah, because you're right. If I were to take an image like this, I don't suppose I can do like an actual pixel count of how many pixels are being used in this image, right? Even if I were to like tighten it up. Will I need to overlap tiles to get color correct? No, because I'm going to, that's going to be just a restriction. Like I'll basically be working with a limited palette. I'm not going to do anything to try to overlap tiles. That's going to get weird. That, and I would end up consuming so much more budget to try to do that. I would just have to work with the existing palette, which is pretty good. I still have like 80 some colors or so. And so I would be working with like, you know, check out these tones of blues, yellows, these darker browns and whatnot. So I would use those. But the difficulty will be like with trying to map all that out. So that's gonna be a different challenge altogether. Step one is basically throw down all the tiles. Have everything down, but how many am I going to use? Yeah, I think you're right. I actually don't think I'd have enough. So I would need to bring this down even further to make it work. But would I go as far as consuming like whole houses and stuff? Because I would just end up deleting like whole budgets. I can do that because at least with blueprints, I'd be able to bring it back. I just have to buy all the pieces back again. And so I just need to get rid of stuff that I don't, that I'm not going to use, like a bunch of greens and filigree lights and stuff like that. So, but yeah, how many pixels is this? It's a shitload, right? So like, yeah, what's the canvas size again? Just going with the canvas size. So here's some defeatist math. Okay, so 368 times 207 equals, that's addition, you doofus. Times. Yeah, so 76,000, that's not gonna work. Okay, okay, math-wise, what's our budget going to be? Yeah, what's the housing budget going to be again at level 12? Let me see, because I have to work within those confines as well. So, oh There we go. Housing database. Something levels. Housing levels. All right, so 59.70. So this is my real budget. 59.75. Oh my god. So if I oh god. So if I work within these confines, 59.75, that only leaves me with 1,500 storage. Storage, you know. So I'm gonna be deleting a whole bunch of stuff. So let's pretend. Let's go with that. So 59. So I need to come up with math that fits this. So any math people, show us the large houses. I can't. Yeah. So how do I make the math fit 59.75? Yeah, how would that work? Ask AI? No way. I'll ask you guys. Well, if you guys use AI, then that kind of defeats the purpose. Ask AI. That's the worst. No, what's wrong with this generation? What's wrong with us? Okay. So I'll need to scale this down like a lot more to suit. So if I were to just cut this in half, yeah, I'll use simple terminology like that. So if I were to if this is the current calculation, I need to bring this down to like 5% of that. Oh yeah, 10%. Oh, okay, between 5 and 10% of this. If I want to have this like fit, but let's go with something, you know, much more reasonable. So damn, now that's gotten a lot more simple. Now of course I'm factoring in this blank space too, so that's not gonna work. So yeah, so this math is already like stupid. It's dumb math. Actually, you know, I should take... How much space do we think is taken up here? Or how much white space is in here? Could I subtract maybe like 25% from the pixels that are out here? Do you think 25% of this is white space? Don't count this white space here. Like, let me... No. Yeah, so only factor this in. So I want to subtract maybe, let's go with like 20%, right? Yeah, let's subtract 20% from here. So we're still at a lot. We're still at a whole lot. So to make this fit, let's go with the whole 6,000 thing I was talking about. So let's bring this down by like to 10% of this resolution as well. So canvas size. So if I were to say 10%, let's just go with 34. Wow, that's really that's way more dense all of a sudden. But yeah, let's go. Oh shit. By proportion. Oh no, I think I gotta do image size, not canvas size, buddy. So 35. Boom. So now we have this. Now it's become a lot less legible, but that now doesn't. I feel like I did the math wrong here. Like it's not really 10%, right? Because I'm just trying to fit a budget of like, you know, that many thousand. And that was not, you know, this here is not like 6,000 things. So what did I do wrong? So basically, I won't have enough tiles to fit like this whole thing here. Math. I hate math. Oh, someone was asking about their sign up thing. Let me see if. Oh, if you signed up, when did you sign up? Whoever was asking. All right, so I think I gotta scroll up. I don't know if they're in chat. Oh, you know what? There was someone I deferred to. Shoot, maybe that's them. Nope, that was someone else. They're deferred until the 16th. Okay. All right. I want to figure this out. I want to figure this out so I can have like, I can either have a plan or I can give up. Right? So basically, the maximum number of pixels is going to be 5,000. So I just need to figure out a resolution that's going to fit 5,000, right? That should sound easy, but well, like I said, I suck at math, so. It was Thunder Fury. Okay, Thunder Fury. I don't see a Thunder Fury who would signed up. Who signed up? People who signed up for next week include the Wakia group, but also Oberon, Renax, Chesto, Lonefire, Julia, Jaiho, Bad Breath, Zindor, Argonius, and Magi. Or I'm sorry, yeah, Magi. Okay, yeah, I think I got that right. Those are my signups. Okay, so if I brought this down to like 35, 10% of that, how would that look? So, yeah, that doesn't make sense. So, what did I do wrong here? My math is not mathing. I didn't do 1%. Yeah, I did 10%. Which is to knock off a digit, basically. Because 348 times 135 is way too much. But bringing that down to... No, that's not right. That's not how this works. I just suck at it. Okay, so 3 to 1. So what if it was? Is this ZBrush? No. So what if I did 200? Too much. 100. $120. Oops. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm getting there. I'm slowly figuring this out. Ooh. Does that work actually? What's that budget thing? 59.75. Okay, that's good enough. So 120 by 47. So is this going to be legible though? Oh, it's pretty legible, right? So it would look like this instead. Okay. So so the budget that's asked for this one is $56.40. That's almost the full budget of the house. Yeah. And so the resolution here is $120 by 47. Now, knowing that, how big can I make this actually? So if I were to make it like really small, let's go with a crate. So how long? Shoot, I forgot how long this was. Damn it! I should be writing these things down, dude. Come on, genius. So how many squares? I think this was like 11 and a half. Yeah. So this was oops. Oh wait, no, I think my math was like way wrong. Hold on. So yeah. So 11 times. Yeah, my math was just stupid. Like the very start of my math was dumb. Okay, so this is only actually 46 pixels across. 46 times 2. So 92. I think someone even might even pointed that out. Yeah, that was Enroka that pointed that out. So that's my limit, no matter what. I think 92 is even bigger than. Yeah, so that's where I screwed up. The beginning. All right, so going back to Photoshop again, I gotta like undo stuff. So if I bring, actually, let me start with the original thing. Yeah, so I'll just bring this down. Let me crop it from here, and then make the max resolution on this thing. Give it a width of 92. And so now we're left with this, kind of the same looking thing, but at least I have a different baseline to start from. This is plausible. Yeah. It's not bad. I can do this. Probably. Okay. So this is what we would see. Given the kind of max resolution that I'm setting for myself. If I let's see, this is, what's the actual budget on this thing? 92 times 36. So it's actually pretty small, 3312. If I wanted to make this higher resolution, I could by making the tiles even smaller. but I really don't want to do that. That's gonna that'll kill me if I were to try to do something like that. Yeah, but it does give me some flexibility to like have more house still. So I'm not. So I am in fact not going to destroy my entire budget. I'm just going to do a lot of damage to my storage. So should I just ask directly? Hey, are you gonna do anything with the with the storage? Because I'm trying to do a thing. You know, I'm just gonna throw that thought out there. Hold on. Oops. And you know, it's actually going to be less than this. So 3312 is what the actual resolution is here. I didn't subtract the white space here, so I'm actually using even less. Yeah. Are they not increases in our storage? I didn't see an increase on it. Let me take a look and see, just as a sanity check here. But I didn't notice. Does the image software have a remove background feature that's still calculated percent? It doesn't matter too much because the resolution that we're seeing here, it's the max resolution anyway. So I'm gonna be under 3000 to make this image. So I'll be okay. It's a lot of resizing though. that's for sure. Because the native tiles, they're not that small. I have to like resize them down to, I think, 50% if I wanted to do that. What sucks though is like I would have wanted to work on this now, but I can't, so it kind of sucks. Because there's no sky, because I can't pull up the skybox from here, so kind of sucks. Yeah. So the way that it would work, I'd have to get used to like the way this grid works, because I have to see how these tiles they sit along the grid, not between it. But then when this happens to be sized normally, this does happen to sit like this, which is kind of nice. But oh well. But yeah, a little baby tile is what I'd be working with. And so I would just be laying stuff down over and over and over again until I die. But the thing is, it'll be like really flush looking. That'll be kind of cool. That'll be kind of cool. And I would just need to buy a shitload of them. Lay them all down. It won't hurt to ask. I'm not gonna get an answer that I can share, but just get the thought out there. Just getting the thought out there. Oh, right. Yeah, budget's the same. 7,500. I've been using alt banks to store extra decor I get, but not using yet. That's cool. I haven't bothered with that, knowing that I'm not really going to use them. I'm just letting them like add up or whatever, and then as I go through, I'll eventually delete stuff. There's like there are a lot of big hits I can use to free up budget though. But the other thing too is, of course, with blueprints, I can take like some of these other pieces that I don't really care for and then just delete them, whatever. I'll just rebuy them again if I really wanted to bring some of those builds back. But it is kind of sucky that we have to kind of consider that in our mindsets. But that's also a 1% problem. So Miss Cenobite, hi. I want to make this, but really. It's gonna hurt myself have to delete items I spent so much on. I mean, that's the thing though. Like, I would advise to folks to only delete items that you did not spend so much on, such as hostas, you know, and other small things like that. So, but this will be the plan. This will be part of. I mean, I can kind of afford this to be something that's part of Project House. It's just that some parts of Project House I would need to take down or bring back up if I wanted to like fit something like this in alongside the other stuff. So it'll be a fun gallery of things that I'd love to have. How about the 25 of whatever that keeps dropping in delves? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Love hostas too. Hostas are great, man. All right. Okay. I know a lot of people who have to delete the cord to free up storage. Welcome to the 1%. It's kind of funny. Like maybe I'm gaslighting folks. Maybe I am, but I like to remind people, oh, you know, if you have these kinds of problems, you realize you're like really hardcore, right? Yeah, you realize that you're part of like the housing elite of sorts. You know, you're part of, you know, the 1 to 5%, something like that. You know, that's always a sometimes that gets kind of a head turn. Yeah. Like sometimes I'll refer to like, oh my god, this is such a mythic house. I'll refer to that in like a thumbnail or something like that. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. All right. So that request to the devs, that's off to the void. I'm not going to get an answer. So what else did I want to do? So now I have kind of the game plan. All right, I kind of have an idea. This is possible. I can do this. I just can't do it on the PTR, which is shit. Of course, there's also no reassurance that the housing codes that we take now are even going to work in, you know, once this goes live. You know, at any point. Actually, no. It would be cool if I did have access to a skybox room, because even if during this whole dev process, even if the housing codes were altered or something like that, like the way it works was messed around with, at least I can like still wait until they work right. But yeah, it's not reliable. Like I shouldn't count on, yes, I will be able to just import these import these over into the thing and then it'll be fine. Especially because these are housing code, these are share codes. And the codes, yeah, I shouldn't rely on this at all. The codes refer to information based on a server. And we don't know if the housing information on the PTR is the same, you know, is accessed the same way as live realms. So like if I made a code here, maybe I can share this among other people on the PTR, but it won't work on live realms when the time comes. So I'm basically talking myself out of trying to do stupid shit and see if I can just start the assembly now, right? And it's all going to be like, it's going to be a lot of manual work. So it's going to be me filling out like this space first of all, and then drawing everything in. Yeah. This will be fun. This will be fun to work on. Can we buy the pet beds right now? Yes and no. There's only one pet bed you can buy at the moment, and I believe that's the one if you had purchased the Rufus pet. There are pet beds, and those pet beds will work in the patch as a thing. So, pet bed, I think, is how this works. Catalog. Pet bed. So, see this thing right here? Like these things, that's like the Rufus stuff. And these classify as pet beds. Just like how this is a pet bed, and that's a pet bed, and like these crates are pet beds as well. So, you can buy those if you wanted to have something. Now, as at the core, the lily pad's just neat to have, and I think it's pretty cheap. So even if you're not going to assign a pet to it, it's going to be cool having the lily pads as like part of anyone's build for like anything. So that's cool. Same thing with having a nest. It's like, yeah, we got nest now, so we can like put stuff in it. Yeah. So I'm digging that. Would love to have more variety, but as a first round, I'm cool with it. The only thing that sucks is, of course, the fact that you know, some of the other limitations, like the, you know, they're tethered to one spot and all that, and things are a little buggy too. Because it's like, yay, puppies, but then they all kind of move funny too. So, oh well. Yeah, just pop a little flower thing on there, and then yeah, you're pretty good to go. You're pretty good to go. If I were to take, this is kind of dumb what I'm doing here, but I'm kind of curious. Okay, if I take that and I do this whole fanning thing, oh, that would be kind of a trip too. If I were to take a whole bunch of these and spiral them around, but I don't think I can climb up these, can I? Like if I were to try to go up and around. Okay, maybe I can. Do the flying pets fly around the house or just walk around? They all, I believe all of them will just walk around. So let me, yeah, let's play with that a little bit. So, pet families, let's go with just whatever says flying. So flying, and oh, I gotta redo the filter every time. You Blizzard, you bastards! Why do you do this to me? All right, dudes, where do they go? Oh, so that one's kind of wandering off, but there's only one flying thing. But I don't think okay, how far will you get? Yeah, they don't go that far. I'd say from the looks of it, they've gone no more than like 15 yards away from their original spot. Oh, you're getting farther. Oh, that was like 20 something yards. Okay, so went a little bit, but you're not going to see them like, it's not like the garrison. They're not going to be wandering around like all over your build, unfortunately. At least not yet. You know, these are as is findings, and so you want to judge, go ahead. You know, you want to say it sucks, please definitely say so. Leave your feedback and all that. I can't wait to have a load of baby griffin pets hanging around in my wild hammer home. I want the limit to go up for sure, because I have way more than 10 puppies. There's way more than 10 dogs, and so here's what's gonna happen, Blizzard. I'm gonna choose the 10 puppies, right? And then the other ones, they're gonna sit in that UI and they're gonna be like, hey, what about us? Don't you love us? Right? and then I'm gonna cry. So you can't do this. You can't do this to us. It's messed up. Oh, but then stability. Fuck the stability. You know? How about the stability of my heart? What about my feelings? You know? Yeah. That's my take, and my take is iron. They need to do something about that to protect me from myself. Because there's so many puppies. And what if someone does? Namarissa, from who the person who worked on Wildhead now on Ice Veins, she has a whole bunch of like poodle mix puppies. She wants to have a bunch of those. I'm guessing. But then, like, what about other puppies, right? Anyway, that's me with the whole conflicting feeling kind of thing going on. If you guys have any other PTR questions or whatnot, now's the time, because I'm just kind of like chilling, doing my thing. I also want to see my warband in the house. That'll be kind of cool, but considering what we have now, or considering what's oh, it's the kite. Oh, that's where it was. I was wondering where the thing was. It's up there. Okay, that's kind of neat. That's kind of neat. So at least that one happens to be like way up there. So there's a little bit of manipulation that we can do. It's just that, okay, there's like a weird thing happening there with the chandelier, I think. Let me see what happens if I take it out. So yeah, there he is. He's like doing its thing. All right. Yeah, so flying pets seem to not believe the floor is lava. Sort of. Some other pets, though, they do. So if I were to take these guys... Actually, I think these guys are set to stationary right now. Yeah. For all we know, they're like hot-fixing things and making some stuff work. But let's try it out. Alright, then we'll move these guys around, just scatter them, and then what happens? Alright. Okay, they're scared. They're clearly frightened. They're like, no, I don't want to get off the ground. Or get off my safe spot. I was able to get the pets who sat on their houses to walk off them by making rounds. Oh, yeah. Like that's the bug. The bug is the floor is lava. So if I put them on... If I put it close to a surface and give them a surface to walk on, they will walk on the surface. Right? As you can see, like right there, they're doing stuff like right away. Now, again, they're limited to that surface though. So if I take this puppy, they're probably going to stay mostly on the table, or that. If they even get off, they'll like just stay like on the available surface, and like that's it. Yay. Can you please sink a cage into a sofa or something so we can see how the pets look? Sure. Oh, so you want me to just obscure the cage basically? So there are a number of ways we can do this. So like, for example, I'll size this thing down and then I'll sink it like just a little into a thing. And then I'll take this guy. I'll take this thing. And then I'll take this thing to size this down into like a little something or other. And then here's what happens. Ta-da! They're fine, for the most part. The deceptive thing is the whole floor bug. That's all. So if you want to hide the cages and all that, then, you're fine. So you find pointing code between the floors, a lot of the floor is invisible. I think it's just more like, the pet intelligence, the pet AI, it's looking for a surface to walk on. And for whatever reason, naked floor doesn't count as, it's not being properly, hooked in as a valid surface to walk on. So they avoid it. That's it. Yeah. Pretty minor bug. I mean, it's a major bug but obviously something that is going to get fixed before it goes live. And then probably fixed more times after it goes live. Because that's how it goes, baby. Yeah, those puppies. Yeah, I feel bad for these guys. They're scared. They're like, I don't want to get off. Okay, this guy's going to do magic shit because they'll like wipe his butt. Yeah, but yeah, you can see how they specifically avoid getting off of the surface. Flying pets, they behave a little differently, but yeah. All right. Yeah, if you have any other PTR questions, you know, feel free and holler. If I need to log back on to like look at stuff, then cool, I'm down for that. For now, gonna hop onto live stuff. I will do one metery run. It sucks. I'm like, so God, I've been so lazy about doing these metery runs. I should just hop on to, yeah, I have a ret sword and everything, so I should just go there and just like smash the place. So let's smash the place like once or twice or 10 times. I've been seeing some more chatter about the upcoming classic updates or classic plus or whatever the hell they're going to do with it. Some of the speculation, and it's all speculation, by the way. Some of it includes the possibility of collections in this new classic iteration to work across the whole account, as in, you know, things that you get in Classic Plus will cross over to our modern collections. So they'll kind of like merge together. And some people are reacting pretty strongly to that. Like, oh my God, my prestige and that sort of stuff. And then of course the counter argument is, well, screw your prestige. You know, it's classic. It's not a big deal. Why are you making it a big deal? I'm kind of on board with that though. Like part of me thinks like the people who care about that the most, the people who really want everything to be available all the time, you know, as in, hey, let's not have any exclusivity. I wonder, like, really how big of a deal is it to the short and long-term health of the game? Because I feel like the people who are really mad about exclusive stuff, I don't know if Fel's here in chat, but I know he's definitely on board with no more exclusivity kinds of stuff. That sentiment I observe comes mostly from veteran players. Comes mostly from the folks who've been around for a long time. They want to get the thing, they can't get the thing anymore because for any reason they missed out, and that sucks. But then for new players, do they care? You know, and I would say like new players are just as important to get as retaining veteran players, and there are all sorts of methods to make that happen. But when it comes to like the whole exclusivity and collections and stuff like that, I feel like it's veteran players who try to push or almost gaslight that whole idea onto other people until they get into it as well. Because yeah, I don't imagine that someone who's brand new to WoW is going to be like, what? I can't get Atiash, the great stuff of the Guardian? Wait, what is that again? What's the story behind it? Who owned that? What, you know, and this and that. I feel like they don't. I feel like for the most part, those players, they don't give a shit. They don't care. But you know, that's just me. That's just me guessing. Guessing player behavior. But that, and these days, the whole idea of exclusivity and all that, it's limited to recolors and like that's it. So I think what Blizzard should do is, at some point, take all these things that people want, and oh yeah, we'll bring it back. It's going to be a recolor, and that's what you get. So that's the compromise. Suck it, and have a good day. How this will work. But that was my little side thing on collections. All right, I said I was gonna do a damn meter rerun. I'm like stalling already. Where's my sword? And I'll begrudgingly switch to ret. At least this makes it a little faster to go through. But then off I go to Kazalgar, right? Yeah. No, that's cool tears, buddy. There we go. Put on my dad's account when I was young, and I have my own. Even with having completed the old content and not having those items anymore, I think the exclusivity is fun. I feel like there's a certain texture. You know, letting players feel a little distinct ain't so bad. You know, I think people are just kind of like trying to beat that mindset into us. Like, no, it's bad, and here's why. And I've never bought into it, but I think a lot of that comes from me being immune to the idea of FOMO. Like, if I miss out on something, I don't care, dude. It's I don't really have it in me to make that like such a big deal. Life's too short, I guess. I don't know if that made sense either, but okay. So I think I need to kill all the dudes, do these things. All right, buddy, let's go. I guess it's really like what really discourages me from doing this dungeon on a more timely basis is this shit. It's having to do this whole happy hour thing. I'm not pleased with it. Yeah, at some point we're gonna do they're gonna do that whole solo check on dungeons and raids for the War Within. We're not there yet. But when the time comes, did I pick it up? I didn't pick it up, damn it. When the time comes, hopefully this will be faster. So, and I can't even move. There we go. I'm like, yo, buddy. All right, there we go. Well, exclusivity is fun. When everything is exclusive, then it's not something there has to be a balance. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, so things have changed over the years. You know, people bitch about the Mage Tower. They keep it fresh, but yo, Legion's 10 years old, man. You know, that was a long time ago now. You know, so whenever people bring up the whole Legion thing, it's like, yo, that's very much an old time veteran thing. That's a 10-year player problem for those who were or weren't there. And like I said, I make a weird example of myself. Like as soon as the next patch came out, I felt like, you know, I don't really feel like doing the Mage Tower in my ults because it's too late. I told myself, I'm like, I'm not good enough. If I wasn't good enough to get it then, screw it. I'm not good enough to get it now. But yeah, that's me being kind of weird. So. Yay. Legion 10 years old. It feels like last week. Oh, no way, dude. It's been a long time, but I still not so fondly remember, you know, seeing the comment. Now, remember, as a commentator, even back then, around Legion is when I started, you know, doing content creation and being part of the community and all that stuff. You know, I was watching the conversations from folks, and they were just bitching hard about like the legendary farm, and people were crying over like there's literally no content because they have to play through all the campaigns in order to get the story, and here's like the difference between the stories. And now of course nostalgia says, okay, we look back on it and Legion was like the GOAT because it had all these things to do and blah blah blah. And all those things are true, but I also remember how I felt at the time too. I was definitely one of those people who was like, dude, there's not much for me to do. Like, I have to play through alts if I want to play through more of the story. Oh, and it's kind of it's a similar sentiment when I play through Cataclysm. You know, I'm not a big alt person. A lot of the alts that I have, I only have like, you know, one of this class, one of that class, and they've like, you know, taken me through my entire WoW career. And I don't really do anything with the alts either. I just kind of level them up just for the sake of having them. And so when Cataclysm rolled around, I didn't do anything. I leveled up and I, you know, leveled up alts, but I didn't level new characters. So there are so many zones that I've never played through. That I'm like, oh, you know, when the time comes, I'll do it for the enrichment and all that. But before that, I'm not gonna rush through it just to plow through it. That, you know, that's not really a big value to me. And I don't really want the game to change to suit that either. I'll regularly see folks be like, you know what Blizz should do? They should make all the content relevant. They should make it so I can level 1 through 90 in the old zones. That way I'm incentivized to play through the old zones and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know if that would... I mean, for me, I don't think that would motivate me at all. Because I need to care about leveling alts. And I don't. So it's... You know, I guess in a sense, like, I guess that ship has sailed for me. Remix was fun, though. The remix is cool. You know, as this very abridged version of things. But I also feel like it planted a seed in people's heads, though. It's like, should I go through this grind, or should I just wait for the remix in, like, 5-10 years? Or however long it takes. And it's cool that we kind of have that opportunity on our heads now. It's like, okay, we can't just kind of like wait. But if there's things that we want now for the sake of, hey, I want to be able to support this, or I want this decor or whatever, you know, cool. Now we live in kind of a different world, you know, where housing exists already. Or people are like, okay, do I want this housing decor now or later? And chances are fairly good that you probably want them now. Or sooner than later, at least. Stop hitting me. And kind of too bad for myself. Like, I only played like a really bare minimum of Legion remix stuff. So, like, whenever I see, like, the really heavy Warlock builds, like, or the Legion builds, which are really, really badass looking, I'm like, oh, there's no way I'll be able to achieve a build like that. Because, you know, I didn't really play through the remix enough. So I didn't get a whole bunch of, like, fountains and stuff to sit on. And now they're, like, really, you know, they're, by comparison, they're very expensive to get. So I'd say a remix is huge for housing. Huge, way more than so like let's say, for example, when Shadowlands comes along, folks are gonna be like, oh hell yeah, dude, the anima grind, F the anima grind, it sucks, yada yada yada. I get that. I think about what how decor is going to look, because decor is a thing that we'll be purchasing like multiples of, not just a one-time you know, let me get that +1. You know, what if I wanted to have like this really heavy Venthyr build, Kyrian build, whatever the hell, Covenant build? People are going to slam the remix so they can buy a bunch of those, because they'd rather do that than have to farm up a bajillion anima when the Shadowlands remix is over. This theoretical Shadowlands remix. That's kind of what I'm looking at. The other collections, that's a baby potato. That's something where it's like, if you're typing a lot, and or if you're doing complaints, then you have time to just do it. And I honestly had fun. I actually had fun doing the whole Covenant merry-go-round. I had to like develop my own little my own internal system of like swapping covenants from this one to that one, transferring the anima to this and that, and then start working like the dailies and all that stuff. It consumed a lot of time, and so as a side activity, ooh, it's brutal now, because people are gonna, people would rather spend their time doing a bunch of other things. They want to do this and do that, but then trying to do the whole Shadowlands routine and trying to do all those collections, that's a big distraction. When it was current, though, it was one of the more fulfilling moments in WoW history for me. As a person who was really starting to get into the idea of collections, it felt good. It felt really good, completing one set after another, even picking up mounts, which is something that I normally don't do. Custodian, what's up, dude? What is good? Yeah, Legion is 10 years old. Mythic Plus is 10 years old. Ooh, ancient times, man. Okay, how far can I get this guy down before he does his thing? Because he does the leap back and all that. Yeah, so it's right there, and then I can bring him down like that far. But if I bring him down too far, won't that screw me up? Because he'll like go into that phase thing again, I think. But I guess I should kill these guys first. Make sure I have cooldowns available so I can just blow him up afterwards. Because if he starts the thing again, then I'm kind of screwed. Packing your bags? Ooh, where are you going? Anyone going to BlizzCon, by the way? I see lots of creator hype over BlizzCon, but I think my perception of BlizzCon hype is wildly distorted. So, like, I have this contrast between creators being like, "Oh my god, this is going to be the greatest ever," versus like, people who closer to me, or people who actually friends of mine, guildmates of mine, who were going to go, and they decided, I'm not going to go because of reasons. I'm like, oh man. And so personally, this is going to be one of the smaller guild BlizzCons that I've been to, and I've been going to every one since 2008, I believe. Usual family vacation in a couple days. Nice. Well, you guys have fun. A usual family vacation. Yeah. My idea of a family vacation as a Filipino, we go to like an uncle or aunt's house and then we help out around the house. That is a family vacation. Yeah, we don't do the whole, yeah. I think the closest thing to a vacation that we've done as a family has been Disneyland or Disney World, whatever. That's about it. Oh no. Hurry up. Oh, see, I might be screwed. Oh no. Okay, can I use violence? I'll just violence. Screw it. I'll live with this. Day 47 of not having a rogue, but only 47 days? That's it? Okay, maybe it is going to be. Was it 99%, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, next time I'm not going to try to blow him up. I'll bring him down to like 50. Because like my burst just was not being cooperative there. That sucks. What if they put it in even if it's a healer? What do you guys think though? Do you guys think that we should even have like more classes? I don't know, man. Specs, absolutely. I definitely want to see more specializations. More versatility among the classes. But as for more classes themselves, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how far we can keep going with that. Give existing classes to all races. Different conversation, but I very much agree with that. It's actually been a while since I've talked about, yo, we need Mechanome everything. Give me Mechanome Druids, give me Mechanome Demon Hunters and all that stuff. You know, they're the most versatile class. Never mind Heronir, man. Screw those guys. Mechanomes, though. You can go everywhere with those guys. Okay, so I'm not going to do that method next time. I feel like there's enough classes. I know people want Bard or Tinker, but they could, yeah, I think they can fold that into like other designs. It has to be a real departure from the theme. So I'd say like a Tinker can be a big departure from it. But I definitely also feel like we're really capping ourselves out. So like the idea of a Tinker, I feel, and that's just me with the feels. I feel like we're limited to the idea of a Titan technology Tinker person, because we have engineers. You know, we have that kind of theme. That tech already exists, and we see it elsewhere. But what would a Tinker bring that feels unique? And you know, that's where I come into like the whole idea of Titan technology. Last Titan. Let's pretend that there's going to be a new class for Last Titan. That would be the way to introduce that, because what it's probably going to be a very Titan influenced expansion, at least for one tier. And then the next tier is going to be something like a total departure, just like what we've seen throughout World Soul Saga. Actually, we see that a lot, honestly. We don't often have a coherent theme throughout an entire expansion. Yeah. Like what? I think Mop was a good example though of kind of staying on theme. Things kind of progressed, but I think it stayed on theme for the most part. Cataclysm did pretty good at that. Wrath was okay. Uldor, I feel like between Uldor and the Argent tournament, I feel like that was just kind of like a sort of like a divergence, although Uldor did add a lot to the cosmic story. Legion, in my opinion, faltered, but the illusion of Legion came from the fact that the first season or whatever tier, that was the distraction. Because it's like, oh, we're doing Emerald Nightmare stuff. Legion invasion outside. We're going to the tree first. Okay, sure, whatever. BFA was a different thing as well, because BFA was kind of like two expansion stories in one. That's how I've always looked at it. You know, you had the old god stuff, and then the faction war. So very different things. It's like it's like you had the war campaign. That's where most of the actual faction stuff took place, and then you had the one raid with Balthazar lore. But for the most part, like the first season was Uldir. The second and a half raid was Unat, or whatever that place is called, Crucible of Storms, I think. Ooh, I'm dying. Oh no, there's a lot. Violence. And then Nyalotha, not Nyalotha, Eternal Palace and Nyalotha. You know, we just kind of went, it's like, never mind faction war. We're done. Brinth is a Tinker for sure. That could be a cool theme to work with. And again, like if they stick to a Titan theme, I think that would land pretty well. Can't do Tinker without warband-wide recipe sharing. It'd be weird if your Tinker will never catch up in knowledge with your existing engineer. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, because the professions are just a different thing, right? I would kind of be loath if there was like if there was like, oh, you have to be, you know, if it was so tied to a profession that you were compelled to be that profession. I'm sure lore-wise people would want to play as that profession, but should they? I don't really buy into that. No, Tinker concept is quite workable. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Am I doing any housing stuff today? I'm farming for housing stuff, but I'm gonna try to do some building as well. Like, part of it is me just getting off my lazy ass and finally picking up a whole bunch of Voker windows, because I haven't. Because I suck. But that's kind of, I think that's the big one. I think that's the most attainable goal that I can go for in the context of today's stream. I've got 2 hours basically to, you know, get a couple. I'll get like a couple more. I'm not going to get all 10 I think I need. That's kind of a lot. But I'll at least get started with it, and then I'll try to get closer to a sense of completion with the orc starting, the orc character select screen. That's hopefully the idea. And of course, I'm chatting with you folks. Yeah. That's number 2, baby. Okay, so if as long as I don't screw up the start here, then I feel like I'll be okay. Want to do a run through of the new place today? Do you want to slam that through, or do you want to wait for a more formalish kind of visit? Because right now my brain is not there. My brain is not in the visiting kind of mindset thing. But I would like to slot you in instead. And if I'm going to do that, then it's going to be not next week. Next week is hairy. It'll be the week of the 7th. Is that okay, Custodian? Reset, buddy. It'll feel unimmersive. I mean, I'll have an engineer with 20 years worth of engineering, and the newly world will never catch up in progress, but I want my turn to be my top engineer. Well, the thing, I guess the thing is, it depends on how they sell what a tinkerer is. Now, keep in mind that the word tinkerer, it's been thrown around so much that it's created this kind of air around it that suggests, oh, that's what a tinkerer is. So that's us making stuff up. You know, we're making up the lore of what a tinker is. But that's kind of why I've been saying, like, okay, what if the idea, you know, what if in Last Titan they introduce a new class and it's all about Titan technology? You know, and so it's given some term. I don't know what the hell the term is going to be. Probably something to totally like disconnect it from the idea of a tinkerer. Like if there is going to be a tinker-like class, they are 100% not going to call it a tinker, because that's going to, you know, that's going to really mess with people's heads, basically. Single room house, so others fine. Just not sure if I'll be around to the lights later on. Vacation next week, then playing catch up, picking the vegetables the week I get back. Lol. I mean, if you want to slot it for a different day, that's cool too. That's fine. Today I did want to just play the game though. I honestly don't give myself a lot of time to actually play, so that's all. Otherwise, I would have reached. Oh, can I kill him? Oh, he's almost dead already. Holy crap! Damn. I need to not hit like a bitch then. Maybe next season I'll have what I need. Damn. I messed that dude up. Oh, I'm using like, okay, yeah. Let me use better trinkets too, because I'm using a healing trinket right now. I'm using a healing trinket and a bubble trinket. Yeah, so I could probably hit harder. Rework Evoker to be a range that buffs melee, and then make Bard buff range but not be melee. I really wish that instead of the idea of a support class or a support spec was they just folded that into tanking. I feel like that would have been better, but oh well. I'm not a game designer. Be thankful for that, guys. Anyone else in my family play WoW? No. No one in my current or extended family that I know of plays WoW. If they do, they might be keep it a secret. For all I know. Alright, so I should be able to get this guy in one round. Right. There we go. Give a competition and it'll be fine. It'll be fun. Oh, but yeah, like I was saying with the whole tinker engineer thing, I have a good feeling that when they do, if there is going to be a tinker class, it's going to be Titan based. It's going to be a big departure from what the idea of engineering is, to where it's going to, you know, regular engineering is going to feel foreign to them, and it's just not going to feel like a part of what the class is. So it's not going to be what people are asking for. It's going to be more or less the kind of theming and branding that is demanded of like the story around what this new class is going to be. So that's going to be great. Like trying to design a class around purely what fans want. Oh, it's a recipe for disaster, I think. At least the idea of demon hunters, at least that's heavily grounded in lore. Tinkers, kind of, you know, they can refer to like I guess they would refer to the Warcraft 3 stuff, but like I said, I don't think they're going to do like that kind of tinker in whatever class is going to come next. As for one for Classic Plus, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what it's turning to. People are going to still say Classic versus retail or whatever. I'm like, you guys are just stuck with your words, I guess, but welcome to the club. Where's the thing? Oh, wait. I have to keep going, right? Yeah. Wait, that was... oh, no. I did one boss, not the other boss. Right? So I got to go this way. Yeah. Thrown off, man. How would Tinkers be separate from engineers? All Titan technology. That's it. That's it. No flamethrowers, no whatever. It's gonna be like laser beams and shit. That's how I would envision it. Gonna be a three-way of retail versus classic versus yeah. Whatever they want. Whatever they want. Wonder if they're done with allied races this expansion. I hope so. I'm tired of the idea of allied races. Just give me more customization on the current races and we're fine. Imagine this, dudes. Imagine I spout this one a lot, and I'm back to doing it again. Imagine if as a cool Tyran, you can choose a Stormwind human shape. Imagine as a Stormwind human, you can choose a cool Tyran human shape. Imagine as a Worgen, you can choose your humanoid form to be human, regular Stormwind human, or cool Tyran if you wanted to. I think that should be fine. That'd be sweet. Or like if you're Forsaken, you can also opt for like a more complete, you know, not a shambling looking Forsaken person, but you know, one that looks that's upright and all that. Dude, give me those kinds of customizations. That's what I think. That's what would just make people go like, oh hell yeah, dude. That'd be sick. And you're not even doing anything like changing character models. Nothing like that. You're not introducing anything new. You're just adding new hooks to the existing races. Like, give me that. And you're going to get some big wins out of that. Vrykul? Well, Vrykuls are a different model, though. So, and that's the challenge that Blizzard has tried to explain to people. It's like, yeah, y'all don't realize just how much would need to go into making, like, to hooking all the old existing armor, mostly armor, weapons and whatnot into a new race. It is that's a lot. I'm having a better hair. Yeah, give me more hairstyle choices. Give me like different facial structures and things like that. That'd be sick. That would be very, very cool. Like I want to see the idea of character customization just go in a new direction, or yeah, a new old direction, such as, hey, more character customization. I would love to have new emotes, new animations. Like I want to be able to customize my death rattle, my laugh, my dance, or whatever. You know, I want to do that sort of stuff. And if they were to monetize it, that'd be really scummy, but it would work. People would they would chew it up. Is that the right term? No, but they would totally go for it. They would totally go for it. And stuff that would go on the shop, they would get a lot of my money that comes from other people via WoW token. That I would buy that shit up quick. So if Tinkers were basically a Warlock clone, but with lasers and mechs instead of Felon demons, count me in. Something like that, yeah. So imagine like a Titan Tinker. They're just like, they're launching like ancient earthen and mechanomes at dudes. That'd be hella funny. Maybe it won't be that exactly, but you know, that's the kind of vibe. One word, mecha goblins. Yeah, dude. That would be kind of cool if they can. If they just took like the goblin skin and they just made in. They just mech them out. Boom, customization. That'd be hella sick. We'll need the extra limbs. Well, more likely to need the extra limbs. They would. Shoot, they'd be. Well, I guess technically the story would be like, okay, we lost our limbs, but then we got these prosthetics. Because it would be pretty wild. Like, imagine if we can customize our characters to only have like one arm or something like that. No prosthetics, they just only have one arm. It would do weird things to animations and combat and whatnot, but that'd be kind of neat. Oh yeah, I forgot to change my trinkets. God, bummer. Oh well, that's okay. Ooh, I brought them a bit too low. Crap. that might bite me in the ass. Actually, I should. Okay, I think by the time I do this run, all my cooldowns should be up. So yeah, I should be okay. We're so zoomed out that nobody would even notice them. I don't know, man. I've seen some of my team. They're very focused on making sure that they have plenty of room to see themselves in combat. And by that I mean me. So I'll be like, all right, everyone ball up, and then I'll like look at myself really quick. I'm like, oh yeah, I like smoking. I don't ever forget, but I love being able to have. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. That would be neat if you wanted to, you know, change your dominant hand. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I can do without, you know, like all the work that goes into setting up a new story for a race and the lore and stuff behind it. Like, just give me none of that, and give me a lot of customizations and stuff. And then the questing, just give me more quests, you know, more quests for everybody. Yeah, you know, that more side quests or what have you. That'd be fun. Nice and simple. Where's the pot belly on the big boys, but keep the muscles? I don't know. I mean, like it has the like that has a, you know, its own iconic look to it. And if people don't like it, then, you know, just be human. Humans are ripped, dude. They're freaking huge. All cool, you know, cool turns without the bigger belly. They're just, yeah, they're just slightly larger humans. That's it. You know, just use a potion, and won't that take care of most of it? Yeah, speaking of things that we're like waiting for way too long, like someone mentioned race class combos. Like the paladin stories have been written. We have a new paladin order. Just give it to us already. We're already there, man. All they have to do now is just kind of open up the doors, and Tyr and what's that one paladin's name? Bertrand, or I forgot the guys, that one older paladin dude. You know, they'll just open up the doors. Oh, welcome to Paladin School. Come on, folks, join in. And then, you know, we'll have like panda paladins. They'll be pandaladins. You know, we'll have orcs, orchidins, nomadins. We'll have cool tyrannidins, right? What else are we missing? Yeah, who else are we missing? Herondaridins, you know? And gobladins. Absolutely, dude. That's always been my personal requirement. Yo, just write the story. They wrote the story in Dragonflight. Now we're just waiting. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe they're just kind of like letting like the time lapse happen and be like, okay, we wanted to set up the school. Here we go. We now have Paladin School. Orchidins would be cool. Oh, and then of course Forsakadins or Undeadadins. I kind of like Forsakadins more. Heck, these days, I almost feel like they need to rebrand. Just stop calling them Forsaken. Or stop calling them Undead. Just call them Forsaken now. There's only like one of them. They're so unique. So I'm still convinced in one of the 0.5 patches we're going to get Eritol rebuilding the Silver Hand, and that's an order. That would piss me off. I'd be like, wait, you went that hard on the main character syndrome for Eritol that you let him rebuild the Paladin Order and not what's that dude's name? Gartrand, or I forgot a dude's name. He needs to make it. It's like basically the Tyr's Hand people. Where was Eritol then? He didn't do a damn thing for that. Because yeah, we had a whole ass questline and everything. So the Forsakadins were given after the Kalia Menethil questline. For me, it was definitely the Tyr questline. Cause he's there. He's like OG, right? He's like the progenitor paladin, where all lesser beings come from. I like Undeadadins. Okay, that's cool. Forsakadins do sound pretty badass, but actually maybe we could just conflate both. That'd be fine. Honestly, I'd like most races to find their own unique path to the light, unlike the Sunwalkers. I think I guess brevity is what demands, or expedience demands it, because the story was written, as said, you know, during Dragonflight, with that story. Who was included in there? I know a Kulturin was in there. There was a prelate that was part of it. I don't think we saw like an undead, but we saw like different races being represented there. And so that's what makes me think like that's what really opens the door. That creates the story. It happens to be a very unifying story. You know, it would be nicer if it was like a separate story for each one, but it's also a lot of races to cover and all that. And while that can work, making more, you know, yeah, having more for the sake of having more, I wonder like if would that kind of water things down? Is that like a quantity versus quality issue? Especially because we're kind of being redundant at this point, because in the case of paladins, we're already there. Maybe if there was like a demon hunter thing, maybe that could be like its own sort of separate thing. It's not, hey, demon hunter school's open, who wants to join? Who wants to sacrifice their eyeballs? You, anyone? You know, no one's really going to do that, right? It's like, hey, give yourself to the void. You know, it's neat. You know, that's not the usual incentive. It's got to be something different, just like Death Knights. You know, but then Death Knights, that was easy to get away from because it starts off with unconsensual resurrection followed by a choice. Hey, we res you. You want to stick around? No, all right, I guess. Bye. You know? Sure, but Orcs Forsaken, I think, need to make a part of their culture, and that takes some work. I mean, it's been so many years since orcs have become, you know, we've had generations of orcs born on Azeroth now. So then it would really just be a question of like younger folk that do that. I don't recall there being prominent orc priests, right? Yeah, I don't recall that being a thing. Oh yeah, it's like, yo, what am I here for, buddy? Poker windows. Oh, I love that they removed all restrictions from transmog. We're so close too, Mosey. We're close. The one thing that I would want to keep though, as a restriction, because again, I am a supporter of exclusivity where it matters. One unique color tint for a tier for like the class. So like for example, I'm making things up, don't worry, but as one example, let's pretend this color is paladin exclusive, right? But then these other ones, they're shared across classes, whatever, doesn't matter. Classes, armor types, doesn't matter anymore. This one though, just paladins. Sorry, buddies. You want to support this? Be a paladin. I believe in that because it helps to create like this some semblance of transmog identity for a class. They gotta have something, you know. So like for every color there is or whatever that is like a class specific thing, give them one tint, make that theirs, make that belong to the class, and then the others can just be anyone. Who cares? And anyone who thinks otherwise, that's fine. It's fine to be wrong. But yeah, that's been my whole stance on it. You know, maybe they don't need like a whole story. Maybe they don't need a whole quest line. But imagine this, right? Imagine this. Imagine like you roll a new race, a different race that can now become paladins, and then you meet someone, a character, who is like, you know, the representative of your race, who's part of this new paladin order, this new demon hunter club, or whatever it is, right? And then you get backstory from them. That helps to make a hook, if anything. Personally, I don't feel like I need to have like a quest line that gets me into it or introduces me into it, but just knowing that there's a backstory to it, it's better than nothing, because what I've been talking about has basically been nothing. So I think that's a good jumping off point. I guess I'm just not convinced that like a full-on quest line for all, how many races are there? For every race that happens to be missing, I don't think that's necessary. What are we doing here? I'm farming for meatery ochre windows. How many? I think I got like 3 so far, right? Yeah, I think I got 3 so far. And I still haven't changed my... Okay, I'm going to change my trinkets after this fight. Just so I remember. Oh, 11... Wow, 11% though. That's pretty good. Alright, I should be able to kill him in the next round though. I want to get him in one shot though. If only I was good at this class. If only I knew how to play red. Then I would actually hit the right buttons, but I don't know a damn thing. Forsaken Paladins run into the problem that, oh, I think Foul would be like the easy throwaway, not throwaway, but it would be the easy, just, hey, I'm going to talk to, you know, you make your new character, there's Foul, you know, and then he just talks about, okay, here's why you're possible. That feels workable. All right, let's go. Woo. Okay, change trinkets, buddy. We can do this now. So what am I going to use actually? Not that one. I have a, okay, there is that's the light one. Okay, so I don't have, where is it? Yeah, the plume, that'll be one. And something that deals damage. I guess that one? Nah, that's an on use. I don't want to do that. That's beyond my that's beyond my ability. I guess not that one. I guess the heart, I suppose. There's gotta be a better one I can use. Taking damage? Nope. 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 Mastery? Strength? No. I guess I'll just use the heart. Yeah. All right. Maybe, but the existence of Kalia kind of solves the issue. She's all about the light. I don't know. I really feel like the I'm gonna go back to the whole Dragonflight story. Like we have it already. I think what we're asking for in these following conversations has just been like icing on the cake. Like, oh well, what about like you know, a little bit of race, you know, exclusive race flavor? I'm like, that sure, but I don't even think it's necessary at this point. It's just extra. I love Callie. Callie's cool. You know, I ain't got a problem with her. I mean, in a way, she's pretty hot. Pretty hot if you're into that. But you know what? I think I'm only saying that because Sylvanas broke me. She helped open doors, you know? Opened my mind, expanded my horizons, you know? I can't be so closed-minded, right? Love is love, something, something, something. All right. Humans and culture and explain themselves. Of course, humans and culture. You know what the difference between human, regular humans and culture humans are? The shape. That's it. That's the difference between those two races. The shape. That's why the whole thing has kind of like always sat weird with me, because it's like, yeah, they're all human. It's like you're saying like every human in Stormwind looks like this. Every which is the answer is no, because Jaina is a Culturian human. Why does she not look like that? You know, that's a big part of the basis for like, we should have new levels of customization. And if it turns out that most people who play Culturians, they're going to use like the Stormwind human bodies, so be it. That's the whole point of customization, is that we can do what we want. If it turns out one of them is unpopular, all right, lesson learned, do something else different next time. But otherwise, having that representation is cool, because there are some people who are not skinny who want to have something that represents them. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Other people, they want a representation of what they would ideally look like. That's fine too. It's all preference, right? So just give the option, and then just let gamers do whatever the hell they feel like doing. Now, of course, people who judge other people for it, well, y'all are just weird. It's like, why do you care what other people decide to look like? Now, the exception would be Blood Elves, because Blood Elves are just superior. So I totally respect that. If anyone who decides to roll a Blood Elf, especially a Paladin, mind you, that you can easily perceive those people as just better people, right? Superior morals, greater standing, probably more attractive. Yeah. Overall, just more successful, the stats are out there. They're totally out there in my head. Boop. Size options at the barber. That'd be fun. Now that's going to involve like a whole different thing. That would be a very extensive, like it would be an engine level change for the game. They gotta like add, like they gotta redo like the whole thing. People want something that isn't just a remodel of a current rig like the Tuskar. I agree, but I think Blizzard has made an unsatisfying but compelling case as to why we're not seeing new races. We don't like it. I don't like it, but I accept that as like, okay, I can see why it's really hard to introduce a new race at this stage of the game. I don't like it, like I said, but I totally get it. But that's why I'm going back to like just character customization. Be like, yo, give us a lot more to do with that. That'd be sick. We got toys that change size temper. Oh, I'm sorry, Blue Cat. I thought that you meant size options as in, like a butt slider or a boob slider and all that stuff. That's what I'm talking about. If they were going to do like a very significant change to character models and character engines overall. But yeah, if you're just talking about like the size of people, yeah, that's different. Or that's easy, as you explain it. I don't think that's a good excuse though, Hots. I mean, it's an easy one. It's like, yo, we pay for, we pay the devs. They should do what we say, right? But the list of demands from players is infinite, so they have to make decisions somewhere. There's got to be, they're going to have criteria. There's going to be reasons why they do one thing over another. And that $15 only spreads so far, Sucks, but that's the goofy reality of finite time and money. It sucks because that's a very bootlicker take too. I get that. So, oh well. Okay, come on, hit it harder. Oh, wow, I hit like a bitch with that one. What? Okay, I guess my crit was just bad. Bummer. Oh, wait. That's the first one. Now, that said, sliders would be kind of cool. Give me a girth slider. Give me a big head mode. Oh, snap. Oh, but real talk, like more customization options would be such an easy win. Such an easy win. It'd be a lot of work, but I'd say it's a better payoff. There we go. It's a better payoff to give more customization versus more races, because the people who want those races, cool, yay, go us. The people who don't want those races, literal waste of time. You know what I mean? Going hard on character customization for all the races, that's going to take care of everyone to a certain extent, because that's for everyone. The people who will be mad, of course, are the ones who do want more races and they're not getting that, but I would say that's a smaller audience. Tier expansions for 20 years, 15,000, we're only 6,000 even to subscriptions per account. Yeah, $6,000. Now for us veterans, that's what some of us spent. Some of us pay through WoW tokens. Hell yeah, baby. So we paid with other people's money, not necessarily ours. What was the point? What was the point I was making with that reply? Argue me, what else are they doing with the money record properties each year? Now part of Microsoft, right? But I guess the thing is, yeah, we're paying the subscription and all that stuff, but we're not paying them literal infinite money. But we have infinite wants between all of us different players and our takes and our perspectives and all that stuff. We can't satisfy everything, right? It's unfortunate, it's shitty, but like I said, it's not infinite money. They got to make decisions on things. Part of it is this thing that we want to do, is it going to be a good payoff? Are we going to get a good win out of this? The jury's still out on whether housing is a big enough win, because some people they couldn't care less about housing because it's just not their thing. Some people have been converted. Some people, for others, it's been what they've been wanting forever and ever and ever. But yeah, the question remains whether it was like a worthwhile investment, and that goes for like all sorts of other decisions that they've made over time. It's like, okay, was borrowed power a good idea? Knowing that they're going to put a lot of investment into this thing that's only going to live and die in the expansion. I don't know. Oh, who wanted another elf model now? People wanted another race. Of course, they didn't want another elf model. But that's why I think the takeaway is maybe we don't need new races. You know, maybe because of the difficulty, or maybe, you know, I guess the way that balance, like the difficulty in making a new race and all the hooks that need to go in there, versus what people are going to get out of it, maybe it's just not worth it. Maybe we should just invest more into character customization. Here's another option, though. You know, one of the most popular races that people want, aside from the Tuskar, because they are just inferior races, people want ogres. How many folks want ogres? How many people want Sethrak? How many people want Naga as a race? Never mind the story. Let's not worry about that yet. Let's just go with, yo, I want ogre as a race, because hell yeah, dude. Two-headed buster doing its thing and all that. Hell yeah. Anyone? Hopefully a couple of folks here in chat want those kinds of races. I mean, I've seen a lot of that chatter over the years. Now, if they were to do it, how could they do that? What's one way to do it? And one way they can do it is by doing what they did with Drakthir, which is to make the race and severely limit the customization to like a couple of things. But you know how people took Drakthir? They hated that shit. They totally did not like the inability to customize their characters. You know, the limited transmog sucked. Yeah, people just didn't like that. And so what message does that send to Blizzard when it comes to the possibility of them, okay, if they wanted to do like an ogre race, you know, people want it, this is the way we can do it, we would have to limit their customization. And then they would look at their data and they would look at Drakthir and be like, well, people were really pissed about that, so should we even bother with that? I don't know. So the kinds of feedback that we give, you know, it might, I'm just guessing here, I have no insider information on this, but it might have reverberating effects that end up influencing other decisions that we might not even be thinking about. So it's a stretch. I'm very much stretching when I say the reception to Drakthir models and customization is the reason why we don't have ogres, Tuskar, Sethrak, blah, blah, blah. I'm totally making that up, but that's a possibility. So, like, if we were more receptive to the idea of Drakthir and the customization, would we eventually see that? You know, ogres, Sethrak, all that stuff? I don't know. But we have seen this very resounding outcry over lack of customization, or lack of transmog options. But that would be the one way to get away with having new races and not having to deal with, okay, we got to go through like tens of thousands, you know, 10,000 some armor pieces to make this work. Because that's a challenge. That's a real challenge that the devs have to face. I think Drakthir would be far more popular if you can pick any races. I agree with that. I remember there was some conversation I was seeing about that. How then it no longer really becomes about... From there, it's no longer a Drakthir thing. It's more like, hey, no, I just want evokers to be available on all the classes, or on all the races instead. Which is not really the same thing, because some people, they really like the dragon customizations on the humanoid forms. So, but I would like that too, honestly. That'd be sweet. And Drakthir's loaded the model of the Blood Beast from Mop. I forget their name. If you take off the wings, it's literally just the dudes running around for nothing in that one boss fight. Do those Blood Beasts, do they have all the hooks for Drakthir animations? Because, oh, I didn't loot. Because if not, then they're not the same. So hardest part of ogre would be the size. Ogres are larger than Tauren, and Tauren's already got clipping problems. Maybe if they shrunk them down by making them an off-breed, that would be it. But now we're getting into dangerous territory because it's like, okay, no, they're like different kinds of ogres, and then they're just orcs. So that's like, oh no, what have they done? So yeah, if it turns out they're just smaller ogres, then you know, so be it. But then it'd be cool if like if their bloodlust made them like even like slightly bigger, so that they have like that original form to them. That would help. But yeah, they'd have to be like they would need to be pretty big. Two-headed options? Hell yeah. I don't see ogres being a thing. I never have. Jin has armor and spell animation since day one. Right. I mean, dude, there are a lot of mobs and whatnot with lots of animations to them. But that hasn't been the question. It's been more of the question of like character customization and transmog, mostly. Oh, I'm killing the coffee today. Oh, man. Okay, I'll do one more. One more time. Do. Now, I would handle it as a race, sub-race kind of thing. Example, elf, sub-race, night elf, blood elf, white elf. That's like an organizational change. Okay, so I've yet to one phase this guy. I know I can, I just don't know how. Or suck at it. Where's the chef? There's the chef. So I'll just kind of wait for cooldowns again, and then I'll see if I can like smash him. Final Fantasy uses the method? Oh, with like the whole race thing? I do recall that even the Final Fantasy directors, they've talked about, okay, here's why we don't do new races. This shit's hard. In so few words. I don't remember the statements though, but that's what it kind of summed up to. That it's just very difficult to introduce a new race. I think one of them was like, weren't they like gender specific or something like that too? Something like that. But I mean, Final Fantasy XIV is just a different game though. So there are numerous differences when it comes to how they do their customizations and all that. All right, how far can I get this guy now? Let's see. 25. Oh, wait, for real, dude? Okay, he's dead. Jeez. I'm like, wait, 0%. Yay. We did it. First time, only time, probably. Yeah, so like that's one thing to consider too. It's like, hey, maybe we can have like the races, but we just can't do like some customizations, right? Uh-oh. Okay, latch back. Cool. Feel bad for the genuine hoes when we went through this quest line to recruit them, and then no, dude. What about the? I think someone mentioned it earlier in chat. What about the Tonka? They've been in the Horde. They did the oath and everything. I remember I did it a whole bunch of times when leveling. And where are they at? No. Nowhere, dude. Nowhere. Yeah, so it's that whole sense of, yeah, you're in the club, but not really. That goes really far back. Really, really far back. Yeah, you would need to do the different head. You would also need to have the helmet suit that. And I don't know if it's like an easy conversion. If it's like a really easy, like, no-brainer thing, okay, cool, but it might not be. But still, they should just do it. By the way, thanks to Wild Huntress for subbing. Also, thanks to Cricket. Thank you very much for the support. Final Fantasy Fest just having panels in here about cosmetics was funny to me. I think that's cool. I do think that's very cool. Gotta do more than that. Like, yo, give me more race class combos. Give me more character customization. Give me more. There was a third thing, but basically, like, that customization would go. Oh, emotes and stuff. Yeah, give me new animations. I think that would be a good ass investment. Even if they were to like monetize a good chunk of it, like, I think it would still be a hit in the end. You know, like kind of like what Final Fantasy does. They give a mix of free and paid emotes, but then they constantly like develop it. You know, it's like folded into their development and monetization. I think that's really smart because they're constantly pumping out like new stuff. And after so many years, you know, the players there, I think they just kind of eat it up. They're like, okay, cool. It's just part of what they do. Part of the model. So waiting for the arm short. Oh, like you mean monks? The monk animation? Hot? I think they're hoping to train AI to help artists resize their outfit creations to make all races easier, so it's less of a barrier, but not sure how progress on that has gone. I know they talked about that, yeah. But since they haven't done anything yet, I have a feeling that they're either a long way to go or they just abandoned that whole thing. You know, because using machine learning and AI internally for like their internal tools and stuff, I mean, that feels very benign. It's just making like custom tools for your editors and stuff like that. That's normal. You know, it's not trying to be, you know, generative of sorts, or at least not generative in the sense that it's pulling from the whole ass internet. It's just pulling from like what they have and what they program in there. So that's more like I said, it's a machine learning thing. We need a graphics update first before we can do more emotes. Like what? What kinds of graphic update are you considering? Because I think there's lots of cool emotes that we've got. We just need more. That's all. Surefire fix would probably get Blizzard executives on board would be race and customization packs in the Blizzard shop. I mean, that's what I'm kind of alluding to. But I'm mostly talking about emotes. The actual just editing stuff, like barbershop stuff, you know, that should just be free for the most part. But imagine later on, you know, someday if included in the barbershop are like a list of like default emotes for talking, dying, you know, and other things, and then you can change those. You can unlock those via and apply them in the barbershop somehow. Whether you get it from a quest or you do an achievement or you buy it in the store, and then it becomes a selectable thing in the barbershop. I think that'd be neat. And my inventory is full. Wow. Okay. Like, come on, buddy. All right. So I think I'm done with that for now. For my stance with the stat, but arms should have it for their passive stance. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be neat. Just do that. You know, even if it has to be like an emote instead of just like an actual passive thing, but it would be cool to have a passive thing too. So imagine having like new sorts of like idle animations and all that. Or like this blood elf is like scratching his butt or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. You know, having stuff like that. Green fire on the cash shop? Do we need green fire on the cash shop? I thought it's like easy enough to get on your own. Unless you mean green fire for shaman. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, what is my auto? Okay, there's my auto. Okay. Oh, I was in edit mode at the time. Cool. All right, so where is the stage? So, not that way. Totally wrong way. Giants and Snarls farts? Nice. Nice. Alright. So, let's have a seat. Alright, so I want my Aqua windows. I got 8. Oh, I have 8 on me? Damn. Wow, when did I do that work? Well, go me. That's kind of cool. Okay, so let's begin my dark work here. So I definitely need to color the bottom here. That's okay. Okay, that fills out a lot better. Okay, I like that. So yeah, I told you I would eventually do some housing stuff today. Oh shit, that's not it at all. Okay, actually that does fill out a decent bit. I think I need 2 though. So all right. That maybe I should just have more rocks there. Because I need more height. I need it to be a little bit higher, just a little bit higher there. So I only have 4 left too. Oh, tragic. Ooh. Yeah, notice how the glow kind of like grows a little bit, or like the way when it kind of comes together with other pieces. Like it feels like bigger, sort of. Yeah. Let's go with that. But I need more balancing here on this side too. So for those who are not familiar with what the hell I'm doing right now, I'm trying to recreate the orc character select screen. Which involves like clouds over like this kind of like fiery sky. It's a little bright here, but there's not really much I can do about the color of the lighting. I can see what I can do if I mess with the armillary and see if like that screws with anything in a weird way. So I think okay, I don't have to make it that tight. I can start to make the clouds kind of thicken up a little bit here. So I might be able to get away with raising that up a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah. But you can see how 8 of these windows just got consumed like hella fast. So even 10 is like the 10 that I wanted to have, like even that's not really enough. Oh, there's a weird lighting thing there. Huh. Okay, that's weird. Why is that popping up like that? Okay, so maybe I... Oh, I think at this height, the lighting starts to get a little funny. Oh, no. But I think I'll just have to deal with that. Or I'd have to color all of that, too. Ew, that's gonna be a bitch. So, is this okay? Is this distance? It's like here-ish. I need to frame it better, dude. All right, I need like more here, kind of. So I think what I could have done is like add some more stuff there, to kind of like give a sort of like curvature here, or I could just get more lights. Maybe this is too solid too. Yeah. Let's see what I can do with this. Let me see if I can work with what I've got, and see if I can find a happy place here. So let's play. Let's play. Like, I just want to kind of widen it up just a smidge. This can probably go down by a little bit. Basically, I'm kind of making a sort of like negative space here. So like in the middle there is like this kind of like cloud, this lower cloud, sort of. But I run the easy risk of spreading things out just too far apart. It's kind of funny how the smoke is doing its own thing of distorting the light, which I'm kind of okay with, but I think I just I need another 10, man. Ugh. Let me turn on lights. Where's my armillary? I know I got one somewhere around here. Yoo-hoo! Armillary! No? Okay. So if I change it to this. Oh, no, it kind of, I feel like it kind of thins out some of these lights, and now things look kind of weird. It has this kind of like really messy thing to it. Yeah, I don't like that. What if I change it small? What if I change it to natural light? Yeah, you see how it's a lot more prominent there? Things probably way harder. I'm inspiring you to try and figure out how to do a last bit of sunset in the night skybox room. That'd be kind of tough. Yeah, that would be fairly difficult, I think. Especially if you're working with what's already night. I think that's too big of a color contrast. If you're trying to bring a sunset, the nighttime skybox room, it's a bit too night-like, I think. Yeah. I think in that case, you're, depending on what you're trying to set up, you might be better off with just doing a window illusion and then starting with like, you know, a gray and then doing a bunch of gradients and stuff. Trying to do a whole room? Ooh, that's tough. You'd need a lot of like weird kinds of illusions to push lighting in different directions and hide it successfully too. Oh. I guess at this lower angle it looks better. Yeah, actually. Yeah. When looking at it like this, the lower angle looks better, but I feel like yeah, I could probably do more. It just sucks because I'm kind of going backwards. I'm having like these really bright glows here happening. Because like, here, where's the, I know I have a screenshot somewhere saved. If I can find it. Here we go. Yeah, so this is what we're trying to do. And it's not bad. I think I just need to, yeah, I think I gotta just complete the horizon there. And I'll be okay. We're almost there. We're almost there. I can go back to meadery. Continue. Because otherwise we're having some fun chats. And I'm enjoying my time on right now. Oh yeah, right. Was there any like last minute news things too? I know there's the roundup. Yep, just the roundup. Alright, so I guess on Monday I can probably expect a trading posting. Monday or Tuesday. It'd be pretty last minute, but I'll keep an eye out on the news so I can do like some quick coverage or whatever. All right. Yeah, the Mechagon one, I think that's going to be a while before I get around to it. Monk one feels pretty done. Orc one is almost there. I'll just go back to the meadery. Any plans this weekend? I think some movies came out. Are coming out this weekend. All right, Roka, you take care of yourself. Tabletop night. Nice. Don't the other orange windows work? No, they don't. Because the windows that you can buy with resonant crystals, those, they have like this little thing that sticks out. So when you try to clip it through, that little nubbin sticks out, and that causes too many problems. I have to do weird things to try to make that work, and it just doesn't work great. So. Ah, that's right. Supergirl came out. You enjoyed it. Nice. No spoilers. Like, I feel kind of bad because like my wife was interested in watching. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch it. But then I guess she's not convinced that I want to watch it because I'm not like super enthused about it. Like I'm a Superman fan. I like the Superman universe, and you know, I have fun with the character and all that stuff. To me, Supergirl is a departure from it because I just like the dude. But I feel bad because I made it seem like I'm not interested in seeing the movie at all. But then the other thing too is that, again, I'm not, this is just from what I saw from the trailers and all that. A lot of the movie is about the puppy. And I'm like, oh, if the puppy gets hurt, or no way, dude, because there's going to be scenes where the puppy looks sad and then I will just collapse. I will die. And so I'd say that's the big reason why we're not gonna watch the movie, because she knows I'll get sad and I know I'm gonna get sad. So yeah, like I said, I'm a big bitch. Oh, wow, 42%. That's terrible. That's terrible. Well, that clearly didn't work out. Don't go. Yeah, I don't plan on. I'm probably not gonna go. I feel bad though, because she's interested in watching it. But even if I'm saying, oh yeah, I'll be a trooper, I'll go ahead and tough it out and I'll go with you, I'm gonna be a big bitch. I'm a big bitch. No, Roxana, like even if like the puppy looks sad, or like even if they're not, I mean, because I did learn that the puppy, like, it's not even real. Like the whole puppy is CG, like 100%. That made me sad. I'm like, it's not a real puppy. Oh, fuck you. Right? But even then, even like a depiction of a sad puppy, just like, it just breaks me. Absolutely breaks me. I think I'm screwed for this one, guys. I might have to do this in like 3 rounds, which will make me very, very sad. Come on, buddy, hit it. Come on. Oh my God, it's the worst. You suck. Oh, what a fail. You know, she's considered, oh, maybe I'll go watch it by myself, and I would feel so bad. She's like, I don't mind watching a movie by myself. I'll feel bad because then you're all by yourself. And that'll break my heart too. So now I put her in a pickle. Now she's not going to watch it at all. I'll feel really bad. I'll be like, I'll just cover my eyes and ears for the puppy scenes. But at the same time, I like watch the puppy and I'm like, oh no. Oh, she has girlfriends. But I don't know if I thought I heard her say that her friends aren't interested in watching it. I'm like, oh, they suck. So. Some sense of one alone time. Trust me, we give each other like lots of space. Or you know, we definitely we let ourselves do our own things. Trust. Not that kind of friend. Yeah, there's that. I just feel bad because, like, you know, she supports me a lot. Obviously, like me doing what I do, it doesn't bring home all the bacon and all that, and so I rely on her a lot for everything, for me being able to work the way that I do. And then she'll come to like BlizzCons and all that stuff. And so I try to be supportive the same way too. And, you know, be interested in the things that she's into as well. Like, she wanted to go to, or she was considering going to Anime Expo, this next weekend or something like that. Because there was some people that were going to be there. She wanted to like show up for that. And I was like trying to be like, dude, let's go. Yeah, let's do it. You know, I'll plan around it. You know, it's a downtime for like patch coverage and all that stuff. Dude, let's do it. And then she ended up changing her mind. But you know, I was trying to be like, no, you know, we'll make it work out. It'll be cool. Let's go. So wherever I can, I want to give her an opportunity to fangirl out and do things that, you know, participate in things that she enjoys. So. Always been happy to see a movie by myself, but my wife doesn't understand it, and also things that be said, so she sees a lot of movies I don't think she'd be interested in otherwise. I think I know I've settled it in my own head. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be open-minded about stuff, and I'll always try to enjoy a movie as it is. You know, and enjoy it like for, you know, oh, this is a cool movie. It's not my kind of movie, but, you know, I was entertained and all that. Like, that's me in things like, I can't think of examples right now. Maybe Downton Abbey would be like one of the examples. I'm like, no, I'll still watch it. You know, and I'll remember characters and ask about things and talk about it and stuff, but would I watch it on my own? Nah, probably not. They rotate. Yeah, that's part of the fun of it. So, but when it comes to sad puppies, that's a hard line, dude. That's a hard line for me. Like, I will ugly cry during a sad puppy commercial. That's me. Like, I'm inconsolable. I would annoy you a lot. Are you telling me to man up and go? No, she would not let that happen. She would respect the intent, but we would not go. Did I see the movie Marley Me? Nope. No way, dude. I think I read the book, which was like, what was I doing? Or what was I thinking? Like when John Wick came out, I know what happens, but I've never seen the beginning parts, you know, I've never seen that. During a later John Wick movie, it was the one with Halle Berry, I was like, oh, there's puppies. And so you had to look up, do the puppies get hurt? No. I'm like, yes. All right, let's go watch it. Sweet. Oh, thank you, High Speeds. Something amazing will happen. I will be spending some nice quality time with wife. So, it'll be fun. Yeah, those puppies, they wreck, man. They're solid. They are solid. There was one movie that I watched. Oh, no, there was something recent that I watched. I think it was, oh god, it's Jack Ryan. There's a thing with Jack Ryan where something happens to a puppy and then I got sad. I didn't watch that thing for like weeks afterwards. I'm like, it was just a quick scene too. I'm like, damn you, you're dead to me. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, bastard. Well, you know, actually, I don't remember it anymore. So, good. Good. Does the animal live? For me, even if they get hurt, oh, man. Or if it's like, if it's a different kind of sad, where like, oh, you know, the puppy's boss, if they're going to die, and then I'll think, oh, the puppy's going to be alone. Yeah. I can't even talk about that too much because then it'll bring back feelings and it's just all bad, man. It's all bad. Like, I'm pretty busted when it comes to sad puppy stuff. Like, just don't do that. Don't put me in that kind of situation. The latest Avatar was hard at times as well. Oh, really? Oh, well, I guess I'm not watching that. Or, or I'm going to be very selective on how I watch it. Shucks. Oh, but there's this one anime. I forgot the name of it. There's this one anime where there was a robot that does not look like a dog, right? But it acted like one. It had 4 legs and a funny head, and it acted like a puppy. And then it died. And I was ugly crying over the whole thing. It was so sad. Oh my god. It was so sad. Like without really revealing anything, because y'all don't even know what I'm talking about. It's like this anime about there's like war happening, and then this robot thing is like watching everyone, watching all these characters, and some of them die and all that. Watching all these characters come and go, and then towards the end, like this little robot dude, it was like trying to do something, and then it got hurt, and then finally the boss, the main character, put it, had to deactivate it basically. And then I was just, I was just like, I was a puddle. I was so sad. Yeah. And then it was okay. Then it came back, and then I was like, this is the best. So. No, that's not even close. Not even close, man. Damn that RNG, dude. So I got 1, right? Pretty sure I got... Oh, did I loot it? Oh, I hopefully I looted it. Have you seen the YouTube's away advanced graphics for WoW? It makes me think of how people will get affected by killing the more detailed animals. There is that, even like mediums like video games, that'll affect people in certain ways. And I'll stomach it. If I'm fighting like for example, Dragonflight, you're fighting enemy Bakar, I try to not fight them. But if I do, it's a video game, I get it. I can kind of push myself out of it. But if I'm watching a show and whatnot, I try to immerse myself into it. I kind of insert myself into like the character's feelings and stuff, and that'll go into like those sad scenes, and that'll just like bust me up. So an example of that would be the Afterlives scenes, the stuff for Shadowlands. And it was the one where Ursoc died. That brought back parallels of my dog, and I was busted. I was so busted off that too, because unlike because that is it's like a cutscene kind of thing. And how people are really sad over Ysera's death, really sad. It is sad. It doesn't hit me the same way because it's not a puppy. If Ysera was a puppy, if there was a puppy dragon, I'd be like, no, Blizzard, why? Don't do this to me, man. First experience with Wild Robot's not a puppy movie, but it killed me. My first experience with a graphic game and tutorial. You slay a wolf, and the audio had the sound. I almost quit. Yeah, like the wolf being attacked and stuff, and it makes that yelping sound. Oh, that's tough to handle. But I've kind of like, I've gotten over it. Some things you don't though. So, hate killing the capybara. Oh, I haven't done that one yet. And they're so cool, dude. They're like the chillest animals, too, right? They just vibe. All right. Your son warned me in time so I can put a pillow in front of my face. Oh, so it sounds like it was a quick scene at least. Yeesh. I mean, some people, they'll be affected by, different otherwise very horrific things, like, okay, like a child dying, or some other loved one dying in some sort of scene. Some of us might be very used to that. Other people be who might be going through recent trauma, no way, dude. It's like they know it's a movie, but the feelings that those things elicit, oh, can't do it. So I totally get that. You felt terrible the whole time? Aw. I remember the whole thing about Taivan, the giant puppy in Centaur Land. I forgot the name of the zone, whatever. When you're helping him out, I was so sad because it's like he was getting in trouble. He was doing his best, but he just wasn't doing good. And he's like, hey, I'm just trying my best. And that too. Oh, man. He's just trying to be good. He just wants pets. Yeah, I was very sad on that. So if you haven't guessed, I'm very sensitive to sad puppy moments. Oh well. Friend's parents died during Shadowlands, she had to quit playing. Oh, oh gosh. Now, in fairness, no, not in fairness. Trauma is trauma, right? Like anything can set you off, and so I totally get it. It just kind of makes me think of like how, trying to divert from the topic a little bit. A lot of folks, they like to refer to Shadowlands as like the most defining moment, because I think there are a couple of them, but the most defining moment where they just kind of like totally jumped the shark on Warcraft lore. And that's something I can kind of get behind, because like the way the Shadowlands was described in the past, it was very mysterious. And Warcraft has a history of taking the mysterious and making it into something that's lootable. And not nearly as mysterious. And so for me at least, to learn that the Shadowlands feels more or less like a country that can be taken over, it's kind of like, oh, okay, that feels not as special. I kind of like it when there are boogeymen out there in the universe, the video game universe, or whatever. Having an air of mystery to things is neat, because then we use our, because then as consumers, we'll react in certain ways, and we'll speculate, and we'll have some fun with that. But then when things are more or less defined, and defined in a what seems to be kind of an overly simplistic manner, then it kind of takes away that whole sense of mystery and all that. Makes it kind of sad. It feels like something is lost there. Like for me, like one of the moments included Orthus. It goes as far back as Wrath of the Lich King. It's like, oh, peak story, but I remember how it played out. Like, I feel like I'm playing through a Ninja Turtles cartoon where you see the villain like around every corner, and you see the reactions and stuff. That parallel continues here in the World Soul Saga, where we see lots of presence of Xal'atath, and she does her haha, you damn you do-gooders or whatever, and we have that kind of like ever present villain, and it feels kind of obnoxious in a sort of not satirical way, but what I find to be sometimes obnoxious, but same thing. But at the same time, people are like, oh my god, Wrath was the GOAT, and this is Disney. I'm like, okay, it's like people are railing against Disney stuff, but they were all good when it was like G.I. Joe, I guess. So, okay, whatever you like, guys. Oh well. Okay, did I get... Oh, shit, I'm full. My damn house inventory is full again. See what I mean, guys? See what I mean? So what am I... So, what's gonna go? I think it's really gonna be the filigree lights that need to go. Because I haven't really been using them for a while now. So, and I have, what, 700 of those? 710. Yeah. So, well, I guess I'll keep farming for now. Oops, I didn't reset. Did love me some G.I. Joe? Yeah, good point. Or is it because... Oh, here we go. It's because it's a woman. Oh, man, that'd be it. Okay, that's it. Ooh. But yeah, demystifying stuff. Shadowlands, boo. That was like a big moment for me. Legion 2, actually. Because it totally just... It took a intergalactic organization like the Legion, and it just wrecked them in like pretty much one shot, it seems like. You know, going to Argus and smashing it, like, that was it. Now, some people have said, oh, it should have been a whole expansion. Argus should have been a whole expansion. I definitely am glad that it wasn't made into a whole expansion. Oh, that would have been... I think that would have been really exhausting. But I think what they should have done is just cripple the Legion and not straight up, like, take down Sargeras. To me, that was several degrees too far. I'm like, yo, did we need to like do all that? Sheesh. Like, I would have figured that the end of Legion would have concluded with like the main way for Sargeras to get to Azeroth would be somehow crippled. Like whatever pathway, whatever vehicle that's being used to allow demons to keep coming to Azeroth, like that gets cut off somehow. You know, the network gets messed up or something like that. That would have been kind of cool. That way, the whole threat of the Legion is still there. It's just really far away. You know, they're hopelessly far away. They're basically stuck with having to set course, get on a ship, and just start going. So they won't be a threat for thousands and thousands of years or something like that, or at least for the foreseeable future. But instead, no, they just like take Sargeras and like all and like everything. They just knock it all down. Like, yo, that's a lot, man. That's a whole lot that they just did. So, oh well. Wild Hunters, thank you so much. Big 5 subs. Really appreciate it. Y'all have been awesome. Never liked Argus. I liked it for what it was. I just didn't like that we finished in Argus. Because now it's really no longer a place to visit. And if we do, it's more like an epilogue, similar to like the whole Eridar stuff, you know, because we did get like some semblance of like remnants of the Legion and all that stuff, but it was very wimpy, I think. I should have given him a virus that made him melt. Well, you can't give a virus to a organization that spans across, you know, light years or whatever measure of distance that they use. So that was my whole thing. Like they did too much damage at once. people talked about, oh, well, in BFA, they finished N'Zoth in a patch. I'm like, no, we've been fighting N'Zoth for like several expansion or several patches and dungeons and stories worth of content. We've been doing all sorts of things to N'Zoth, but when it comes to the Legion, we went to the Legion one time in the patch and put an end to them. We just went over there, we had them bite the sidewalk, and we curb stomped them. That was it. So I would have liked to have gone back. Imagine a plot point where someone makes their way and reopens the connection between Azeroth and Argus, and it's like, haha, now the Burning Legion is back again. It could have been a thing. Now, if they wanted to do that again, and they could, they'd have to kind of like convince us that they're back. And I think that's a bad way of going about it, that they have to sell the idea when they could have made the conclusion of the Argus storyline a massive setback for the Legion, not, all right, they're all gone now. Now we just got to deal with that one thing in Silithus, whatever that is. I don't know what it is. And now it's a running joke. That there's this big sword-sized hanging thread that is the end of the Legion. But like, that's it. that's all we got. They could have had the whole last Legion still available. Nah, let's just leave it at this way. Oh well. Yeah, and they have to put off bringing it up and making that into a thing. So I'm kind of glad that World Soul Saga will hopefully, this is big cope from me, I do hope that they're going to kind of like put an end to most of the storylines here, not all of them, but then just kind of wrap a bunch of things up. It's weird though, like I've been seeing on the internet, like people have been talking about it like it's a story reset. I just think that they just want to get rid of some loose threads that have been like, that are hanging around kind of awkward, such as the sword. To name a couple things. So while I don't expect like a WoW 2.0 or anything like that to happen after World Soul Saga, I have totally convinced myself, and I'll repeat this until the day I'm proven wrong. I've totally convinced myself that the Empire is like the next, maybe not a saga, but they're going to be like the next big thing. They're going to be kind of like the foundation for several expansions to come. And while we may not be dealing with like the Zereths or whatever, maybe not so much that, but I think spending a lot of time fighting off the Arathi Empire as a long-term antagonist would work out great. I feel like it's better. I feel like fighting a country, that feels better than fighting just like a single person. There's too much that the one person like Xalatath or the Jailer or Sylvanas, they're carrying too much of that villainous burden. They have to be like that whole, they have to be the face of the thing that we want to hate and loot. But I feel like a country is more compelling, or an empire, whatever. Because that offers an opportunity for lots of characters to be involved. Whereas presently, we need like someone like Xalatath to individually create this sort of like tension and involvement for other characters all at the same time. It's like she after blowing up Dalaran and all that stuff, it only really sums up to Xalatath versus Ilaria. But even then, that connection doesn't land right in my head. But I'd love to see like individual stories that come from like the Arathi Empire. Like, you know, there's like these lieutenants and they have certain grudges and they encounter this one, you know, this one character who we're familiar with, and then they have like this rivalry or grudge going on. So yeah, and like what Dragon's saying, like it gives a chance for more characters to be highlighted, even if it's not trying to be an antagonist to any specific character on the Arathi side. It gives an opportunity to have like multiple fronts and show off what other characters are doing or what they've been doing. That's also what makes me miss. I miss mission tables as a storytelling element. You know, some people, they didn't like the whole offline progression or whatever. But as a storytelling tool, I think the mission table was pretty sweet. You know, it was able to refer to other places that are that other things that are happening that aren't just us. That's not just happening in a cutscene. I think that's a valuable storytelling device that players complain their way out of. And now it feels like the story that we're being presented with outside of expansions with mission tables are much more narrow. So, not to say that things would be fine otherwise, but it's taken away one part of that toolkit that I think is a mistake. Maybe we need to see more villains collaborating in another capacity than we've seen. That's hard to do, though. Because with Warlords, like, they set him up and we knocked him down hella fast. I mean, that Warlords had a different set of issues with their storytelling and all that. But I feel like maybe we don't need to have a whole bunch of named characters for that. I think it would feel pretty effective to have like the characters who we're familiar with, see how they react to the Empire attacking, and whether it's people or places. You know, so imagine the saga kind of kicks off with like this big invasion from the Arathi Empire. They're like, oh, you know, you guys suck, we're better than you guys, we're gonna take over, and then conflict, you know. And so we're fighting on multiple fronts because that's how the Arathi's doing it. They're trying to, you know, cut the head off of leadership, so they're attacking a bunch of like capitals and stuff. And then that will give, like, from those locations an opportunity for local heroes to rise up and all that. New faces, familiar faces, that sort of thing. That'd be cool. Hekar's lines in Warlords were epic. Oh, all his one-liners? Lots of one-liners there. I ain't mad, but yeah, he was definitely the star of that expansion. And funny enough, not really the villain. Gul'dan didn't have like a huge part. It wasn't even like the last guy, but I do like how Warlords led into Legion as a continuing story. It's like Warlords was one of those few examples where we win but we lose kind of thing. And we've been seeing a lot of that in the World Soul Saga. You know, we won the fight, but we're not doing so great in the war. Easily one of my favorite tropes. Because otherwise, then it's just, you know, kind of kumbaya and all that stuff. Oh yeah! Oh dude, I've annihilated the guy this time. Sweet. Well done, Soul. Well done for a change. But yeah, it's like these days, I think people convince themselves of this whole like Disney rhetoric. Oh my god, everyone's holding hands, everyone's at peace. I'm like, yo, did you read the quest lines? It definitely doesn't seem like that. we're taking one break, and then people are thinking that the war is over and all that. Like, I'm pretty basic on the lore, but you know, the way that I've been at least been looking at the passage of time, you know, oh gosh, how long has the fourth war been over? It happened during BFA. It happened at the end of patch, oh god, what patch is that? 8.2.5 or something like that. Real world wise, that was, I think, 2018, 2019, something like that. So it's been 8 real world years since the war ended, but I think it's been over like 15, 16 years since the okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but it's been a while since the war ended in game. And then people will keep expecting, like, oh, well, why are we friends? I'm like, time went by, buddy. I sort of question the, not the comprehension of like some of the lore heads who are out there, but I think we sometimes try to take the lore and turn it into something that's way more serious than what it actually is. I feel like Warcraft has always been a pretty basic, kind of a basic story. Easy to understand tropes. But I think we try to, and I would like it if it was like told with a bit more detail and care, but I think people, they try to break it down as if this is like scripture, and they'll really get into like the words and the wordplay. Faction thing now reminds me of the world between World War I and World War II. How so? Blue. This way. I should be able to squeeze one more in. That way I'll have like 3, maybe 4 windows. I think I forgot to loot a window, which would feel like kind of a win. Peace but undercurrents of conflict. You know, funny enough, that was the end. That if we think of WoW time, that was the end of the Second War. You know, end of the Second War, the you know, the orcs were beaten, the Dark Portal was closed, Khadgar and Alaria were off in Narnia somewhere, but there were conflicts because they needed to figure out how to handle the orcs. You know, they did the whole internment camp thing. Not everyone was a fan of that, and then the alliance broke up. A lot of folks tend to forget that. People think of the alliance. People think of the Horde and the Orcish Horde as the same thing. People think of the Alliance and the Alliance of Lordaeron as the same thing. They weren't. They had, you know, there were different sorts of like conflicts and different sorts of opinions that came from each of those folks, and then both eventually broke up. The orcs were defeated; they were broken up, and then you know, conflicts within the Lordaeron Alliance, they kept growing until people just left. But there's like a certain stubbornness from gamers that no, the Horde and Alliance must always be a thing. I don't think it should always be a thing. You know, it was there for protection and convenience, but when the wars are over, then what? Oh, no. Warriors are the warriors. Peace but undercurrents of conflict. I'd say the Marin Trollbane thing was like the closest thing to what I feel is like a kind of better way of depicting the current status quo in the Warcraft universe, you know, between the factions, where you have someone who's just trying to start shit between the factions because, oh, you know, humankind, yeah, let's go, you know, it's all about us. To me, that's compelling because it ends up trying to thrust the two major factions back into a conflict that isn't just about like, oh, look, resources, let's fight for it. You know, to me, that's not very convincing. Like, you know, in hindsight, we can kind of say like, oh, okay, this war that started feels very forced, and it is thanks to Shadowlands. Okay, yeah, it was forced because the premise was really shit. But then Sylvanas is like, okay, yeah, shit, I'll do it. And my inventory is full. Excellent. Excellent. I haven't gone through my inventory in forever though. All right. One more. Then lunchtime. Animosity doesn't just go away. No, it doesn't just go away. But it has been like more than 10 years, history-wise. Yeah, it's been more than 10 years, and there's only so many stories being told that depict animosity between the factions still. The closest things that we're getting right now are people who are just saying, oh, well, at any time there could be conflict again. The next closest thing would be the kind of occupation of Silvermoon City, where you have the Army of Light coming in, and then you have like the unrest amongst the Blood Elves who live in the city. So I'm sure that's going to turn into something. I have some confidence in that. But as for like whether that's going to manifest now or if it's just kind of planting the seed for later, I don't know. But it's fun to speculate. Silvermoon. It's like one day, you know, you have like a shipment of crates that are coming in. You know, everything seems cool. The saga's over and blah blah blah, and all of a sudden, you know, people start collapsing and they turn into light beasts, and then boom, the Arathi Empire arises. I don't know. You know, and then all of a sudden, you know, Blarthus Mega Hill, they have to come rise up to the occasion, and they must purge Silvermoon. It's like, what, Blarthus? What are you doing? I can't be a part of this. Well, sorry, Gina. I have to do this, you know, if I want to keep my, you know, if I want to keep my class. Otherwise, they'll race change me or class change me or something like that. If the orcs never had the blood to drink, would we even be in this existence? It would just happen in a different way. I'm pretty sure. Because if I recall, Manoroth encountered the orcs. He's like, hey, these orcs are pretty cool. They're pretty useful. But what bridged everything together was Khadgar. No, not Khadgar. Medivh. He's the one that bridged the worlds between, you know, Draenor or Outland or whatever, and Azeroth, who created that connection. So it could have been, we could have connected to a different world. It could have been done another way. It just happened to be orcs. So imagine if it was like little fuzzy squirrels that happened to be like, oh, these fuzzy squirrels, they drank the blood. They sacrificed everything. And now you have these fucking yoked up squirrels that are red because, you know, demon blood. And then they invade Azeroth. Then it's all the same thing. Right? And then Squirrel Thrall, who was born because, you know, Squirrel Duratan and Squirrel whatever the wife was, you know, they got killed by whatever, and then all of the Squirrel Thrall is now leading his fellow squirrels. So, yeah. It just happened to be orcs. Because Manoroth was... So what if Manoroth was like, dude, I love puppies. Right? I love puppies. All these puppies are so cute. You guys are gonna be part of the Legion now, and so now you have puppies, puppy Legion. So it's not a question of was it really the orcs. It's just who would Manaroth have hooked up with. All right, come on, do it. Oh no, I'm gonna stay here. Yeah, he was just looking for a viable option. So it could have been someone else. Could have been someone else. Squirrels, puppies, whatever. But yeah, back to the actual answer. Yeah, nothing would have changed. It would just be whether it was orcs or some other humanoid race. Kind of like the idea of yoked up squirrels. Like, just imagine, like, you have like the little squirrel head, no neck, but then they're just ripped, right? This huge body, like ogre bodies. So yeah, ogres with squirrel heads. There you go. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Okay, definitely next patch. I'll be able to do this in one round. Definitely next patch. The point is, orc versus humans is not necessary. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Sherry. War is never necessary, right? The Legion could have just, if only the Legion had talked to all the elves back in the day to join up. If they only, yeah. So imagine, like, what if the Sundry never happened? What if Sargeras just did a good job and nothing was screwed up? So we can go that far back if we want to talk about if we want to go with what ifs. What if the Storm Rage brothers just kept their damn mouths shut? Just do as you're told. Be good. They said earlier we don't have to be against each other, so it's fine that we get along and work together. Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, we can't erase the past, but we can move on from it. But of course, there are elements in the Warcraft universe, and especially among its fans, who are like, "Nah, man, we got to keep going with that war." But we need to be able to grow up with each other, right? I think time and time again, I've seen demonstrations of why random queuing across factions is still not a thing. Because there are enough loud elements among socials that suggest, no, people aren't mature enough for that. We're not mature enough for a lot of regular grouping. So having the faction friction be a thing, it would be like, imagine the number of reports that would be going out. It's like, yo, dude kicked me because because they called me a filthy horde for being part of their group. It'd be hilarious to you, but more irritating. Arthas was corrupted. The orcs were corrupted. It wasn't inherently the humans or the orcs. I mean, we've seen demonstrations of how the factions can get into war all by themselves, you know, without any outside assistance, but there has been some very heavy outside assistance with that. You know, like the Fourth War was, you know, like it or not, the Fourth War was orchestrated by the jailer. You know, he's the one that that really got that stuff going. Third War was also kind of orchestrated by outside elements. I'd be able to random cross faction. I'd kill to be able to random cross faction queuing where a small group who play war have the alliance and have. Yeah, that part is really lame. Yeah, that part sucks. You know, so for those who are like, hey, we're a full group or whatever, and we still can't do it, that's lame. All right, come on, last run. I wonder if I should take some elements of all the rantiness from today and just turn that into a weekly. Nah, not really. It's not. A weekly is like a recap of what happened this week. There wasn't really anything that went on this week. I mean, we had like some cool stuff from this PTR build, but it's nothing that I haven't already covered, and I don't need to recap that much stuff. Yay! Alright, so let me go back to the house. On this character. Yeah, I have to be on this character, go back, because I gotta delete some more filigree lights. I wonder if there's an add-on that lets me delete more than 5 things at once. Because being limited to 5, deleting 5 items at a time, that's very limited. You know, for those psychos like us that buy like a bajillion things of the same things, like hostas. Oh, I'm seeing that link that you sent, the whole pixelated thing. That's neat. Interesting. Color map with a paint by something solid. Huh, I wonder if I can utilize that. So I'd have to use a grid and then somehow assign colors. Okay. I'll have to look around for that. Yeah, I'm not okay with it either, but that's the shitty reality that they face. I'm sure ideally they don't want that, but oh well. Oh, destroy. I mean, thankfully, these are not so bad. Like, these are freaking... what, 10 Dragon Isles resources per? So... This is a cheapie by comparison. I remember, these are the lights that I have out. Or that I haven't used. I'm using, I forget exactly how many, like 300 something. Actually, I have it here. Place 372. So 372 of these are being used for Lights Refuge. That's making the big dub over at that one house. Yeah, when copy paste becomes a thing, I'm going to like make like this little tiny like cute puppy statue thing, and then I'll just be like, all right guys, here you go, here's a puppy if you want to, you know, a little puppy painting. I'll do something similar like that, and like that's it. Mosaic is done in Photoshop, but the color palette is done in paint by numbers free software. Oh, so like the thing that I'd want to do is yeah, so it looks like you just need to limit. So I'm seeing the whole paint by numbers thing, but can you apply it to like just that grid and have each pixel be a separate color? Because if I can make that separation, then that'd be pretty awesome. All right, so I got, oh wait, do I have a G? Mailbox. Oh god. What do I have in here in my inventory? Okay. Maybe there's a thing in here. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be a disaster. Way too much random stuff in here. Oh boy. So I was trying to figure all that out, but wanted something quicker to get you started. Okay. Yeah, 80 colors is fine because I know, because I definitely don't need that many. Okay, so I don't think I did have any more windows. I think that was it. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. So let's place these, and then we'll wrap it up for the day. So I got 5 to work with. Cool. But yeah, I think I do need to like probably fill out gaps, unfortunately. And then kind of go, if I can fill out some more of that, but then across here too. So I'll stick to one side, just to make sure that one side is filled out. And then maybe I can figure something out like a little differently. Not much I can do about the shadows though. Like it's this whole occlusion kind of thing because that decor is close to the wall, so it's going to kind of override that light. So yeah, I can't do anything there. So I think that left side is actually done, which is great. Oops. So here I just need to kind of fill out space, it looks like. I don't think I can, wait, can I do something about like that kind of middle-ish area here? Can I light that up some? No. I think it's the smoke that's messing with that, so I think I can leave that alone. So instead, can I go lower? Would that help? Let's go with that. Yeah, because the smoke is kind of doing its own thing with causing that distortion there. I can spread this out just a smidge more. Yeah, it's very spotty here, though. Kind of don't like that. Like, that's better. I think I just need to get like 5 more or something like that. Fill out that spot. 5 or 6. And then I think I'll be done with this. There's not too much more I can add, really. Just like a little bit of splash on the sides here. I think like this solid shape here is as good as I'll be able to make that. It's got the vibe, for sure. I just gotta like sit. And here is the kind of shot. Actually, that seems kind of far somehow. Like it is a pretty close shot. So like here's the oh shit. Where is it? None of those shots. It's somewhere here. There you go. Yeah, so this is the shot. This is the OG shot. So I think we're getting there. Cool. Yeah. I tried doing like streaks to see if that would work out, and it just doesn't quite match. Yeah, vibe doesn't really come out right. So I'm gonna have to like kind of like go with something like this, and then keep using these windows to like help out. All right, yay! So with that, I think that's gonna be it for me today. So I want to wish everyone well. I hope you guys have a. Oh, do I want the smoke effect? Or can try the Odin Forge? What's the Odin Forge? Hold on. Lala knows a couple things about housing, so let me see. I don't know if I have that. What is it called exactly? Because I have these kinds of smoke effects that are coming from some braziers. Replica Odin Forge. Okay, it appears I may not have that. Nope. Okay, so what would that be? Okay, I don't even see it on the catalog. Oh, this one. Okay, so this guy. Okay, how does this thing look? Okay, that's an exceptionally wispy smoke. Okay, or not wispy. That smoke is thick. So if I put it there, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Very, very thick. And that'll let me kind of that'll let me obscure that right side there. And I guess that can take up this spot here on the right side. Yeah. Rotate it to the side. Oh, so you're saying use that to replace the clouds? Oh, no, I don't think that would. I think that'd be a bit much. Because the animation of that forge, of the smoke, it'd be too fast, I think. So, here, let me just show it like back there. Yeah, see how fast the smoke is going? I don't think that would go so great. It would just be really fast. So it's like, I know that the orc characters look. It's like this very post-battle, it's a rugged scene. But this has like, oh, the atmosphere, it's been destroyed, and we're all gonna die. But as for it being something here on the side, it just has kind of a thicker bit of smoke to cover that. That would work. But how do I get it? I need to use this. Hidden potential. Oh god, no, I'm not getting that. Actually, no, that I have to do some research. I know I have like a good number of like warrior stuff, um, but definitely not enough. I don't think. Yeah. No, thank you for the tip though. I think that can, I think it can work for like the side thing. It's just like the this smoke here. It's a little wispy. You know, using something that billows a little bit more. I think that'd be kind of cool, especially as something that just feels different. It's like, okay, here's like some thin smoke on the side. Here's like some like, oh, crazier, you know, stuff right here. So I think that'll work. But I'd have to like go through all the things to like get to that. Anyway, someone was asking a question. How do I get you? How do I get on the list for you to come visit my house? You're on Twitch. If you go below, there's a link to the sign up sheet. It's full right now, but as it instructs, just try to pop in at 10 a.m. Pacific on Tuesdays. That's when the queue opens up, and I open up roughly 10 to 15 spots a week. So I'm trying to work on, you know, increasing my own mental stamina so I can do more if possible. Like if I can make streams like 1 hour longer, then maybe I can squeeze like 1 or 2 more visits in a day. That'd be kind of cool. So for now though, 15 is what I do. Oh, okay, actually, next week we're gonna do like a lot more. We're doing 19. Yeah, we're doing 19 visits tomorrow or next week. So that'll be fun. It'll be very cool. So stay tuned for that announcement, among other things. And now off I go. You guys have a fantastic rest of the day. I'll see you guys for the next thing. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay breezy.